We live our lives hooked up to the show. It's virtual reality, lost in space. Flawed personality with a smiling face. Be what you wanna be. Make up the memory. It's virtual reality.
Good.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and VR. As you can see, Tyler is MIA. He was actually on his way to Florida right now. He is driving to Florida. It's like a 15-hour drive or something like that, something crazy. But luckily, we are joined by none other than Gamertag VR. I'm sure he needs no introduction. I'm sure everybody here probably knows who he is. But how you doing, man?
Hi, yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm excited for today's show. This past week, I mean, sometimes, we go through these kind of lulls in VR where there's just not a lot of big stuff going on, week to week. And then there's some weeks like this past week that I feel like were just absolutely epic killer weeks that just so much stuff happens, so much news drops, so many new games coming out, and really good games too, not just your mediocre games. There's a lot of games I think we can talk about and updates to games, really exciting stuff. And if you didn't catch the VR Link episode from last week, I joined Gamertag, BMF, and Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis on that show, and that was a really, really good show. I really enjoyed being on there. We had a really good conversation. So if you didn't catch that, make sure you go back and watch that, because I definitely think that was worth a watch. So, yeah.
Do you think it's weird, like, going from the podcast host to then being a guest? I think it's really strange.
Yeah, it's definitely different. And especially because, on our show with me and Tyler, it's usually just two of us. So then, like, to go on shows with like four people and stuff, I'm always like, man, like, I don't want to, butt in conversation, but I don't want to not say anything. So it's hard because there's so much conversation. So it's a little bit different. But even today, I hate doing the intro. Like, so every Coffee and VR show, I always make Tyler open up for us because I hate doing that. So today I was like, dang, I got to open up. So, but it's not that bad. But yeah, it is a little bit different going back and forth. But it's fun. It's fun both ways. Like, I really enjoyed being on the show. I've been on a couple different shows, and it's kind of fun to be able to do that. And like Mike was saying, there's no work. You don't have to do any of the setup. You just go on and you talk. So that kind of makes it nice every once in a while. It's pretty cool.
Literally, all I've done today is play. Do you know, it's really crap, actually. The original Street Fighter. Like, the original Street Fighter. You got Street Fighter 2, but then there's actually a Street Fighter, and it is terrible. But yeah, that's. I worked last night, and I just played that for a little while.
What were you playing it on?
PS5. It's called like believe it or not, it's the 30th anniversary edition of Street Fighter. So you get every single Street Fighter, and
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've actually played quite a bit of VR this week, and I've also been working on the VR, the room and stuff in here. I've been doing some updates in here, some of that we put on the channel. But I played a lot of VR after going a couple weeks, with being sick and stuff and not playing much VR. I've been playing a lot. I played a bunch yesterday with Crashland, Hyperdash, the new Population 1 update, Z-Race. I've been playing a bunch of stuff, so it's been really awesome. What is your favorite game that has, like, newer game that's come out that's really just kind of wowed you lately?
It definitely would be, I don't know, it's quite tough because Population 1 Season 1, that update, you can't understate how big that update is.
Yeah,
that
right.
is a very substantial update.
Yeah.
People obviously don't like the fact that I know some people don't like this, that there's a battle pass and stuff, but it's all cosmetics.
Yeah.
Everything that is been improved or added to the game, everyone can use. And I want to celebrate that massively, but Hyperdash come out as well. And I know, some people don't want to buy another game. A lot of people asking me, what do I prefer? But I think they're two different games with two different game modes as well, especially, there's like deathmatch, team deathmatch. The most stressful one, well, there's two stressful ones. There's the point grabbing one, or the base grab, where you got to get all three bases, and you got to hold all three for like 5 seconds, press the buttons, and obviously payload. And payload, dude, that game, like, the tension is so real, and it's great. It's such an adrenaline rush of a game.
Right.
I completely love Hyperdash. Unfortunately, I've been working all week, and I'm working all weekend.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll be doing Hyperdash again because. And with the haptics, man, both them games, like Population 1 isn't officially supported. You know what I mean? Like, someone's made a mod for it. and you use like Melon Loader to put it on there. And it's very simple, and it's very good. Both those games make excellent use of Hapdash, and when I play the game without haptics, it feels different. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I can't. Go on.
I was going to say, I do want to get into some of that haptics because I am very curious about that, and I haven't purchased anything yet, and I've been on the fence. So I do want to get into some of that, like some more in-depth. But yeah, I totally agree. Hyperdash, honestly, I played it a while back. Me and Tyler played it on SideQuest, and we got into it for a little while, and we really liked it, and then we just started playing other stuff, and I never went back to it, and I kind of forgot about it. And then, with this release, I went back into it yesterday for the first time, and I couldn't even tell you how long, and I was like, man, I forgot how good this game is. Like, it's just so fast paced. And so I played some Solaris the other week because I wanted to go back in after the updates, and they added a bunch of stuff, and they fixed a lot of the stuff that I originally complained about.
I was waiting for you to mention Solaris.
Yeah, and so to me, Solaris is another one of those games that's supposed to be really fast paced, right? And it is, but my only issue with that game still is that when I'm in a sprint mode and I move at all, it like slows me down and it completely stops my sprint. So it seems to me that it's hard to maintain fast movement through that game all the time. And I don't know if that's something that I'm doing wrong or if that's just part of the game. But with Hyperdash, that's not the case at all because you have free locomotion, you can teleport, you can grind on the rails. Like, I just feel like you can
run. I didn't know you can run. Apparently, if you hold the B button, you can run as well.
I didn't know that either. I don't think I knew that. Yeah, it's so fast paced that I feel like you can stay in action like all the time. There's never really a slow moment, and it gets better and better as you get better. Like I said, it was the first time I played in a while, so I couldn't remember which guns I liked, so I was trying different guns, and there's some guns you like, some guns you don't like, but it is a lot of fun, and I look forward to getting back into it. But like you said, it is completely different from Population 1. Like, this is much more fast-paced, where Population 1 is a lot more strategy. You can play Population 1 fast-paced, but you're not always in action. There's not people readily available to shoot and kill all the time like there is in Hyperdash, because you can move around the map so fast, and it's a small map, where Population 1, you're starting out in a much bigger area. And I did want to mention too, Tony Digital gave a $25 super chat and said, "Good morning, guys." And I didn't say thank you yet because I think you were saying something, but seriously, that is awesome. Thank you so much, Tony Digital. Yeah, he is the man. So that is really awesome. And we also have the Buy Me a Coffee as well. The link is in the description. That's pretty cool. That'll pop up here in chat too. We had a bunch of people doing that last time. I don't know if you've done that before, GT, but it's really cool. There's a site called buymeacoffee.com, and you make an account, and they actually give you 95% of the donation. It's like $5
with a K or something.
No, it's just buymeacoffee.com with a C. But it's pretty cool because it just goes straight to your PayPal. But YouTube, when you get super chats or whatever, YouTube's taking a big percentage of everything. So Buy Me a Coffee is really cool. It's a really cool way to, and obviously we're coffee people, so it makes sense. But yeah, I really love Hyperdash, and I love the Population 1 update as well. With the sword, actually surprised me because I wasn't big on the melee weapons. I was like, oh, that'd be cool. The knife, I want nothing to do with the knife. The first thing I do, I throw that thing out of my inventory and I pick something else up. And that's just me. Have you got any knife kills yet, GT?
I have, I have had a couple of knife kills.
Have you?
I'm trying to have mid-air battles with a knife. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. You don't necessarily spawn with it straight away. I think it's like a 5-second cooldown time or something, and then you get the knife. So
Mash Daddy, cool. He said good morning, guys, and with a $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. That is awesome. Yeah, nice. I haven't really tried much with the knife yet, and I only played a little bit this week. We did a live stream on Thursday, and mainly I was just taken back by all the changes. So I was mostly messing with the new guns, the LMG, the sword. I think it's really cool with the shield that you can kind of come up with the sword. The knife, I don't really fully understand the knife because I would much rather have a sword than a knife if I want a melee weapon, because you have a little bit more range and stuff on that sword. Sword does damage.
Imagine if you spawned with the sword and you end up in like an area no one else has got any guns. You cause carnage.
Yeah.
You wipe out a whole team.
Yeah. So we were playing when we were streaming, we were playing. Our one buddy J-Ham plays with us all, and he's like really, really good. And I actually wanted to get a clip of him. He did a whole squad wipe with just the sword, and he put the clip on Twitter. I was trying to grab it this morning, but I saw some of it. I didn't have time to grab that. But he's really, really good. Like way better than I am with everything. But it was really cool that I mean, he was just like, I'm going to try to get some sword kills. And he just wiped out a whole squad like instantly. And I mean, the sword is like 2 swipes pretty much. So it's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
And, but I think if you're going to go melee weapon, I think sword is the way to go. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be people that are going to get really good with the pistol, but I mean, not the pistol, the knife, but I don't know. That's tough. I'm just not, I don't know. I do got to practice with the sword some more. I want to get some pretty cool sword kills. What do you think about the LMG? Did you get to use that at all?
I love the LMG.
Really? Man, it's like a love-hate. Like some people love
It's
it
hard.
and some people hate it.
Hard
Yeah,
to use.
it is.
Not, yeah, like it's got me out of a few situations where I've been stuck. But yeah, like I love the sword, but for some reason in my mind, when I'm slicing people, it seems like it hasn't got enough distance. Like I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, this sword looks extra long, and I swipe people, and I'm like, I've missed them again, and now I'm about to get killed. So I don't know. Like the shield as well. You see people walking up to you with the shield, and they're crouching, so you've got nowhere to shoot them. Oh,
yeah, it is. I mean, it really changes the whole dynamic of the game. I mean, it's almost like a new game with everything they've added. And there's a ton of new zones. Like on the one far side of the map, I can't remember the name of it, but it was, we talked about it on the stream, like it was a very open section to where if you were up on the mountains, like back behind farmland, and it ended up over there, I think it's on Complex or whatever. And it was very hard to get from up there down into the zone without dying. And they added a whole bunch of stuff in that area so that you can actually move through that area without being so open and exposed. And I mean, that kind of stuff makes a big difference in game when you're playing strategy wise. So that was really cool. Paradise Decay said, loving Tyler's beard. So he said he's calling you Tyler. He said, Tyler needs a beard. I don't think I've ever seen Tyler with a beard in my whole life. He's always been clean shaven.
With all the coffee donations, man, I'm sure you can grab him one.
Yeah, for real. There was also there was also a coffee, buymeacoffee.com that came through that didn't say who it was. It just said someone bought you coffee. So I don't know if you can do that anonymously. I guess maybe you can, but thank you for that. I'm not sure who that was, but thank you. That is really cool. So yeah, but let's talk about the haptics a little bit because I don't have a video or anything of it, but what we're talking about is the B haptic suit, and you have the X40, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they have the X16 and the X40, which the X16 is the cheaper version. I think that's around like $300, and that has 16 motors throughout, where the X40 is, I think, around like $500, and it has 40 motors, haptic motors all throughout. So I've been debating about this, and I've talked to Alex VR a little bit. He's I think he's community manager now for B Haptic. So he does a lot of stuff with them, which is really, really cool. And I talked to him a little bit about it, and I was like, I'm really considering buying the X16 because it's cheaper, and I spend way too much money on VR stuff anyways. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's absolutely insane. So, but I talked to him a little bit, and he was like, the X16 is great. I've used it. It's an excellent vest. He said, but you might have buyer's remorse and wish you would have just went ahead and spent the extra money and got the X40. So I'm like, man, I don't know, so now I don't know what to do.
Tough.
But yeah. So my question to you is, because for me, I have a big thing with barrier to entry to VR. I don't ever like having to take extra steps to get into VR. And that's one of the things I like about the Quest so much. I don't even have to turn on my PC. If I want to play Population 1, I hit one button, it's booted up in a couple seconds, and I'm in the game. And so how does that play into effect? Is this something that going forward, because I know you just mentioned that it's a totally different experience and you're missing out on an experience when you're not using it. Is it something that you think is worth the time to get suited up into that thing, that you're going to use it for the long haul in games?
So I am exactly the same as you. The reason I think we was on the show, we was talking about Vorpex. The reason I don't like Vorpex is because it never just works. Okay, it's always a bit of an issue to set up and get going. And I know Paradise is going to be like, no. And, if you're interested in Vorpex and you've got the time for that stuff, to be fair, I don't have time because of what I do. Right. That's literally the problem, So if I wasn't doing this and I was just like absorbing VR content instead of trying to give it out, then I probably would spend a lot more time with Vorpex and like having a family, having a career. Well, I say a career, I'm trying to make a career, but having a job and stuff.
Yeah.
Haptics is as simple as it sounds. You get a Bluetooth dongle, plug it into a USB port, you zip it up, you turn it on. There is an app that you fire up, it syncs, and then if it sort of show up as it'd be like a ghost image of a vest, and then it'll go colourful to let you know it's there. And then that's it. You can ping the vest. You can. I mean, I'm not. I don't want to promote my channel. Can I just say I've done a video?
Oh
or
yeah, I
something,
mean,
or?
promote your channel. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
No,
have a
well,
problem with that at all.
I did a Haptics video a little while ago, and there's also a Haptics app, and it's no different because it's the same as on the Quest. It's just Bluetooth. Literally, you just turn it on and it syncs up, and then you can ping it to make sure it's working. You can choose the amount of sensitivity or how, like. I was like, more the better, first of all. Playing Propagation VR 400% all the time. I was like, this is fantastic. But then when you play something like Hyperdash, where as you grind, it's all the lower abs, like, and after a while, you're like, dude, this is full on. Because if you play something like Swordsman,
yeah,
you
have a video on that too. You have a video on Swordsman too with the Haptics. That's all.
Yeah, so I'm not going to lie. Basically, Haptics said to me, "We want to send you this gear, but in return, can you make some videos for us?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I will make. I only want to make videos on games I like."
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Swordsman from Sin Studios, no bullshit as always with me. When I heard it's from Sin Studios, I was like, "Don't know, guys. Don't think I'll be happy doing this game because they've let the community down a few times." And I played it, and I was like, "Actually, this is all right. You know, this is like." This is like Blades and Sorcery without like some of the fancy stuff. And the swords play was actually really good.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. But in the haptic sense, it only ever kicks off when you get hit. So when you're playing like Hyperdash, yeah, every time you shoot, your arms are going. You know, you feel it in your shoulders, depending on the weapons. I said when you're grinding, it's your lower abs kicking off. It's just a really, really full-on experience. But Population 1 just took the cake because if you get caught in the zone, everything just goes.
Oh yeah, that's
everything is like full. And I jumped in there with Mike to help him with his video, and I was like, dude, I got to turn this shit down because I am staying away from. I mean, you are supposed to stay away from the zone, but I was scared of the zone because it was like shake the shit out of me, like
oh, man, that's
so
awesome.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good and.
So you think it's worth it to the extra time? I mean, it probably doesn't take much time to put it on. I mean, you're talking probably less than a couple minutes, right, to get it on and set up.
I mean, yeah. So once you fitted it, I guess maybe you have to sort of undo it a little bit and then sort of do it up on the sides. But yeah, literally, as I've just said, you put it on, you turn it on. When you press the button down, you'll feel the whole thing sort of vibrate downwards, so you know it's activated. You then double click your app and yeah, that's it. And like when it comes to the games, you just like click a box. It'll say with Haptics. Like with the Quest, I tried Thrill of the Fight. Hyperdash has Haptics as well. Yeah, you just click Haptics and it because obviously the Quest has got Bluetooth. It syncs up to the Quest.
Yeah. So I mean. Talking to you, it makes me want it even more now, to be honest. Especially talking about Population 1.
I hate it. It's so good. Honestly, it's annoying. Like the only reason I took the Haptics thing on because I'm not a sellout. I don't ever want to promote anything that I wouldn't use myself and or enjoy.
Yeah.
And I went to Gamescom, and that's when I met Jen. Back in whenever we was allowed to go out, and yeah, like I had the whole stuff, all of it on there, the wrists, the face and everything, and I was like, this is fantastic. This is so much better than I assumed. I think it's when, and I think by what Alex is saying, if you have the 16 points, you're not going to get that accuracy.
Yeah.
You know, of where certain things are, you know, maybe, and well, that is true. That is exactly what it's going to be, but I don't know how much of an impact it have because I'm assuming the haptic pads are larger on the 16. They've got to be larger, haven't they, to cover it, because you're still going to have the same amount of space to cover.
Yeah, I would think so, yeah. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So I don't know. I would love to try one. To be honest, I would love to actually get hold of the X16 and see like which of a difference it makes.
Yeah, same here. I would love to see side to side comparison if it's worth spending the extra money or if I would be happy with the X16. And there's really most of the content creators and stuff that have put out videos on the Haptics, it seems to be mostly all the X40. I haven't really seen much content on the X16, but I also haven't really searched it and went after content on the X16. Maybe I need to do that. But I mean, I love the idea of it, and especially for the kind of games that I play, I feel like it would be a perfect fit. It's just the money thing, it's just forking up the money all the time. So I'll probably just do it because I really want it. And part of what has held me back is I got the what was it called? The sub pack. I got the sub pack a while ago, and that was kind of cool. But it was just that one big basically speaker thing that goes on your back, and you feel the vibrations and stuff. And it was really cool for stuff like Beat Saber and Pistol Whip. I tried to use that in contractors. I was like, oh, that'll be cool. I'll feel like I'm getting shot. The problem with that is it's on your back. So every single time I got shot, I looked behind me because I always thought I was getting shot in the back because I felt it. It didn't work at all. It was terrible. It was so bad. Yeah. So with the B haptics, even it probably even helps you with situational awareness to know where you're getting shot from, because you don't always know. So is it that accurate that it should be. So if you're getting shot from the front,
it depends on the game. It depends on the game and how they implemented it. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Population 1 was pretty good. I felt like it was almost overkill, some of the things. Like everything has haptics. Yeah. Almost. Like Hyperdash, I would say, is probably so far at the games I've played, and I haven't played everything, because it works in VR chat as well. In Population 1, the difference was you can touch each other. Like you can slap each other around the face. You know, if you hit someone in the face, Mike was loving that, playing with your nipples. He loved that. But what I was trying to say, I forgot with the app. Sorry, because I've been working nights. My brain's all over the place. With the app and the video I made, I showed that you can draw words and you can pick them out. So I got my daughter to wear it, and I was like writing words on her back, and she was actually knowing the letters I was writing.
That's really cool.
That's how accurate it was, you know, and that's. Obviously, she wasn't going to be in the video. She didn't want to be in the video, and people have to take my word for it. But that's how accurate it could be. I could write letters of the alphabet, and she'd be able to know what they were on her back or her front. So
it's really cool, really cool. Wormsworth, he said, "Oh yeah," with a smiley face. Thank you for that. $5 super chat. Thank you for that. That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that's been on my mind a lot. I've talked to a couple people about it, and you're the first one that I've talked to, face to face, a little bit more in depth. And man, it's definitely something I'm interested in and I'm thinking about for sure. So that might have to happen. I don't know. I just love those kind of shooting games, and I think that would be so great to actually feel that stuff in there. Real quick, I did want to talk about a couple giveaways we have going on. This one I think ends in like 2 or 3 days. So this one is a dual coffee mug giveaway. So this is a rendered reality coffee mug. That's this one here, not this actual one that I've drank out of. It'll be a brand new one.
Mine's broke.
And then a gamer tag. So this is the old version of gamer tags mug. So it'll be the one that's up there on the screen. So whoever wins that Gleam giveaway, you'll get both of those mugs. We'll ship them out to you. Ends in a couple days. Just kind of a cool thing to do since GT's on the show. I mean, GT always helps us out. I mean, literally, there's been times where it's like last minute, and we're like, "Hey, can you fill in on the show for us?" He's like, "Sure thing, man, no problem." So, and just like you said, you've been working like crazy. You're constantly putting out content and live streams, and so we just really appreciate all the support. I mean, we all know the VR community is absolutely a fantastic community. We all help each other out when we can, and it's an awesome community. But we definitely appreciate your help. And you've been so I saw on your channel a while back you were looking into doing some more video stuff, and then you actually changed back and you said you were going to go back to doing more live streams because you felt like that was doing better for you and stuff. So how is that going? I mean,
it depends what you mean by doing better for me, but
I forget how you worded it. You just enjoyed it more, or that's what the community seemed to like more. I forget how you worded it exactly, but
so I tried. So before we go any further, when we talk about communities, if anyone knows German Rifter, he's having a really tough time. I saw that tweet.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah, so if any of you are on Twitter or anything, it'd be really great if you could he might even be off it, but it'd be nice when he comes back, if anyone could just DM him, see how he is, let him know you're out there, do you know what I mean? Because he's had a really rough year with cancer and a few other bits, so it'd be really cool, if the community does give a little bit of a moment.
And he's big in the community too. He's always,
Dude, he's in Pixel Rip 1995. Like, he's not a content creator. He doesn't do anything like that. That shows you
how big a part of the community he is.
Yeah, man. Exactly. He's just, he's there. And I think the reason he's stepping away because he basically said the reason he's on Twitter is to support people.
Yeah.
And he's just run out of energy, basically, I think, and that positivity he needs to do stuff. And, like anything, when in social media gets you down, I'm assuming maybe he's writing stuff about that. And, maybe he's looking at his feed and thinking, this isn't how I wanted this to be. And I need a bit of a break. So, yeah.
Good guy, though. Yeah, for sure. So, well wishes to him for sure. No doubt about that.
Absolutely. So when it comes to the content and the live stream and stuff, so I was trying to, I want to please people, obviously, and not everyone likes live streams. Personally, I like live streams. My son hates live streams. He's just like, no, I just want to watch something for 10 minutes and that's it, but he likes podcasts, funny enough. And so I was like, okay, I don't know what to do because I know And a long time ago, John Hibbins, he's a developer, and he said to me, "You really need to get away from the live streaming stuff. Live streams are good for while they're alive. And when live streams are done, they're all gone. And he's got a point. He's got a really good point. Problem with me is I'm not full time, so if I live stream, I could sit down and edit that into a video, and that was the first thing I was going to do. But the only way I could do it is to pay someone to do it, because I haven't got the time. So I've paid an editor.
Time is one of those things you just can't get more of. Like, I mean, it's so hard with time and working full time and all of that. It's tough.
It's not effort, dude, and it's not energy. I give all the time I have.
You have more energy than a lot of people, and I mean, honestly, your live streams are great too because of your energy. The energy that you have and the attitude that you have and stuff in the live streams. I mean, that's why people keep coming back, because it's entertaining and fun to watch. But it is a lot of work. It's definitely a lot of work.
It is, yeah, and like, you can't live stream miserable.
right.
You can't go on live and go, "Oh my god, I feel like crap today." Does everyone else feel like crap?
Yeah, right.
And and I don't want to do that. I've never wanted to do stuff like that. So yeah, I brought the editor in, and basically for 8 videos. And I don't know if anyone's on the channel, they noticed that basically every time I live streamed, there was a video of the live stream. Very well edited, really enjoyable actually. And they sort of got the same views. And live streams are getting like some more views, and some videos got a little bit more. But overall, live streams are there. And I'm like, well, this is costing me money. I'm not really getting that much more out of it. It's not like some channels you see out there, and I don't know how they do it, and fair play to them that they do it. They have like 8,000 subscribers, but they'll be getting 14, 15Ks per video. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not liked that much. Maybe my content isn't that good. So then I just thought, well, what can I do to just enjoy myself? And it's live streams, because I love being part of the community. I love talking to the community.
Yep.
So
I mean, that's what's important, honestly, is having fun more than anything else. Because if you're not having fun doing it, then I mean, it eventually leads down a bad road. So you got to do what you like, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely important. And YouTube's just a tricky thing. The algorithms are weird. YouTube prefers some things to other things and pushes it out more than other things. It's just a very weird beast. But we definitely wish you the best of luck. I know I like enjoying your live streams when I can. I know a lot of times it's tough for me because I'm usually at work when you're live streaming because of the time difference and everything. But I do try to pop in there when I can, and I always enjoy it. But another giveaway that we do have going on right now too is a Hyperdash giveaway. That's another Gleam giveaway, because we give away codes on the show a lot of times, but it's tough because some people they can't always grab the code fast enough, because it's a lot of times when we just pop a code up, you got whoever grabs it first. So sometimes we like to do a Gleam giveaway or something that way. It's a drawing, it's a little bit, everybody has a chance to win. So, but I want to give Hyperdash away just because I love it so much, and I think it's such a good game. So I thought it was a great game that just came out this week to be able to give that one away, and I think that'll be pretty cool. So make sure you sign up for that. Yeah, it's in the description. And I don't know if I got a link to your channel in the description, but if anybody's here that doesn't know Gamertag, his channel is Gamertag VR. So I will add a link in the video, but make sure you go subscribe to him as well, because he puts out tons and tons and tons of content, really good content. So let's see, what do we want to get in here next? Did you play Crashland?
Yes, because you told me to today. Yes. It was like, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about Crashland. I was like, I've got the game, but then played it.
Yeah.
So you tell me what you think, man. Tell me what you think. So
this is my footage right here, and I went into this last night. I played the first, 2 or 3 levels. My feelings are a little bit mixed on it. I was a little bit surprised a little bit by it, because I didn't have very high hopes at all, because it was kind of one of those games that kind of came out of nowhere. There was no hype, nobody really heard anything about it until a couple days before it launched. And I'm not a big fan of the wave shooter genre, and this is sort of kind of a wave shooter, but I think it's a little bit better than your typical wave shooter, and it's pretty tough. It gets a little intense. It's not real easy of a game. There's some pretty big monsters. If you don't like spiders, there's a section where this huge spider comes out of nowhere, and that kind of freaks me out and shoots cobwebs at you, and that's not fun, because then you can't get away from it. It's one thing if you can get away from these big things. It's another thing when they're have you pinned down and you can't move. That's a whole different feeling. But it is an interesting game, and I'll probably play it a little bit more. What do you think of it?
Oh man! So I've only done a training at the first world, the second world. I do actually want to play more, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boy Brown, he says Crashland needs co-op. I think most games need multiplayer and co-op.
I totally agree that. I mean, I say that about everything. If this game had co-op and multiplayer, it would go. I mean, it would go a couple notches ahead on my. I mean, it's just so much more fun when you can do it with somebody else. You're laughing. You're having a good time. I can't stress that enough. I totally.
Do you know, it'd be really cool as well if like you could choose your loadout and only like one of you could have the radar.
Oh yeah.
So, so like cool. One person had to tell the other person where they're coming from and shit. That'd be weird.
I mean, that's the thing with co-op and stuff is there's so many elements like that you can add and take away from and change it. Totally change the game and either force you into being cooperative, and playing together or not. There's just so many elements to it. I can't stress it enough. I love co-op. I
thought the graphics were nice. The thing is about the Quest 2, as like most people say, when you play a native Quest game, the resolution is gorgeous. I really do enjoy it. But I thought the foveated rendering was quite noticeable on this game.
I noticed
more
that
than
too.
most.
I'm hoping they'll change that or do some updates because I did notice that too.
Yeah, like normally you don't really see it, and I kind of wondered whether it was the background or not. That sky to ground. But then I started thinking about other games. I thought, no, that's not it. There is a clear staged foveated difference between the center rectangle sort of square and the outside. So I'd be very surprised if people don't mention that in any reviews, if there is anyone reviewing it, because I thought it was very prominent. But weapons felt good. I loved the video of this game, actually. It got me very excited. I thought loads of different looking creatures. Up close, I think they look really good as well, the creatures. It looks like you can do a lot of damage to them. But yeah, unfortunately, like even though it's got free locomotion as well and the ability to teleport and stuff, there is only so far I think the game can take you in terms of excitement, and it might turn into a bit more frustration. And I do believe that's where the co-op would definitely have changed this game completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if I was going to ever score a game on playing it for half an hour, I'd give this like a 6.5 out of 10. But I don't even know what the price is at the moment. I can't remember.
That's fair. I think it's $20. I think it's $20. So $19.99. Yeah. I mean, I think it could be like $14.99. I think I'd feel a little bit better about it. But
yeah, I mean, the thing is, like when I see games like this, it does look good, and it does feel like a bit of a quality game. But there is some good stuff on SideQuest, and there is some good things on App Labs that aren't on the store as yet, and they're not far off this sort of quality.
Yeah.
Like Warplanes. Did you play Warplanes?
I didn't play that. I have not played that one. That was one I meant to play, and I kind of just
wow.
I need to play that. The bad thing is I was sick there for a long time, and so I got behind on everything. But yeah,
I was going to say, you didn't pick a bad time to go sick. I mean, what massive things happened?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, it was kind of a little bit of a lull. Luckily, when I came back, it was when all the good stuff started happening. So that is true. So yeah. I mean, I think a 6.5 or so for this game is probably a pretty fair rating. And Paradise Decay, he made a very good point. It is a solo dev, and this is their first game. So taking that into consideration,
$20.
Yeah, that's a little. I mean, yeah. I don't know. It could be. I would easily pay $20-$25 for that co-op in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, I wouldn't feel bad about it at all because it would just be more fun, and I would play it more. I mean, I
just think when you got a game like that's the problem. When you got a game like Warplanes, and they're adding multiplayer, they're listening to the community, and it's $10. Like there's the money issue of like certain people. A $5 game could almost be so cheap that people are like, oh, I don't know, this might not be very good.
Scares them away, right?
Yeah, and then you get to the $10 mark, you think, oh, this actually looks good, and that's not too expensive. And then you get to 15, and you're probably a bit like torn between the two. And then you get to 20, and I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, I need to know what this game's about. I bet a lot of people are out there not just buying it; they're probably looking out for what people are thinking. Because the trailer does, I thought it looked pretty good. Reminded me of Farpoint, and I loved Farpoint.
Yeah.
But it's not Farpoint, by the way.
No. But it is. I mean, it's still a fun game. Like, I will play it some more. I don't know that it's a game. I'll play it some more, but I don't know if it's a game that's going to bring me back. In 2 weeks, I'm probably not going to be thinking about this game or going back into it. But that's also because there's so much stuff that comes out all the time. And I did make a note. So I have in my phone, I have a list of VR stuff that I have a checklist that I want to do. And I added Warplanes because there's so much stuff coming out and there's so much stuff that I'm enjoying playing right now that I forget about things. So I added that in here. And here's the huge creepy spider. And I did kill it, but it was too late. He got me. I was in his web. And
it looks like we probably played about the same amount, actually.
Yeah, I think that was the second level right there when I died. Yeah. So it's fun, and I'm curious to see anybody in chat, if they've played this and what they think of it. I mean, I don't know. It's got some potential. I think 6.5 is a good. I think that's a fair rating.
I think if it's, as I said, I think if you're talking $10, I'll be like, yeah, man, check it out. It's good fun. But that's the hard bit. There comes a bit with that price. There comes a bit more responsibility with the recommendation. So
I'm pretty impressed that was a solo dev first game title, came out of nowhere and made it directly onto the Quest store though.
Apparently it's not a new game though. Apparently it's an old game.
Yeah, it was like a tech demo game, from what I understand from back. Hopefully it should be back. I've never seen it do that before, so at least not a long time. So hopefully it's back, but. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, hopefully we're still live. Yeah, chat's still going, so hopefully we're good. So Tyler just texted me and said that his the brakes froze on his front left of his on their vehicle on their trip, so they may be broke down right now. So hopefully that's not the case, but that's what it sounds like. So
I'm wearing a hat for him. I don't want to scare people too much. I want them to think...
he does always have the hat on usually on the show. I think
he does,
so. Yeah.
No, it's just because I can't go to the hairdressers. It's
mental, it's been crazy. Last time I got my haircut at one of the places, the girl that did it said she loves trimming beards. Like that's part of when somebody has a big beard. She likes to do the haircut and trim up the beard. It's like almost like a full makeover, but she couldn't do it because of the COVID stuff and I couldn't take my mask off. So my sister used to do hair. I did have her trim it up just a little bit last weekend because it was getting insane. It was like growing so uneven and there's like one side was out here and it was just nuts. So people are like, oh, don't trim the beard, but I had to trim it a little bit. It's still
the
ridiculous.
Beard's good, but the mustache is really good.
I need to wax it up. My wife hates it. I try to wax it up, so I try to like make it.
Wax it and get a monocle.
Monocle. Savage. Yeah, my wife might leave me if I do that. She hates when I twirl it up. She's like, "Why do you do that? It looks so ridiculous." And I was like, "That's why I do it because it does look ridiculous."
Jealous, mate.
Yeah, it's just to be funny, but yeah, it's awesome. So there is a Coaster Combat Oculus Quest code up on the screen. Hopefully somebody grabs that. I like people whoever get them. I like to see them put in chat of who got it, but not everybody does. I just always get excited to see who ended up being able to grab it. But some people don't like to say, or some people don't talk in chat as well. But so hopefully somebody grabbed that. Another game I wanted to talk about was Z-Race, and you didn't get to play that yet. I think you'll hopefully be playing that real soon. Let me see.
It depends what you tell me about it.
Yeah, so if you don't know what this game is, it's a game, I think it's coming out next week, I do believe, and this is going to be on Steam, and they're also trying to get this on the Quest store, which I really do hope that it comes to the Quest as well. I know Paradise Decay did a video on this on his channel, and right now it's an asynchronous multiplayer racing game, which basically, as far as I understand, you're racing against actual people's time trials. So, so you're seeing their ghosts and stuff racing back and forth. There is actual multiplayer coming. I don't know if that's going to come with release or if that's coming later. I'm not sure. The developer might be in chat. I'm not sure. He said he might be in here. So if he is, he can mention that and he can answer some questions. So really what they wanted to do was they wanted to build a racing game that was comfortable for everyone and that people didn't suffer motion sickness and stuff like that. And I think that they have probably achieved that because the way they're doing it. And the one thing that's good about this is that when they said that, I was really worried that they were going to play it too safe and the game wouldn't be fun to play because they're playing it so safe to keep people from getting motion sick and stuff like that. And that's not really my kind of thing. I like to push the envelope. I like to feel like I'm going fast. I like to jump off things, do backflips, whatever. I like to really push the envelope in VR.
I love Wipeout.
Wipeout I haven't played, but I've heard it's so awesome.
Oh my God!
I don't have PSVR. I don't have PSVR. I have not picked up a PS. I've thought about it, but I'm just waiting for PSVR too.
But I was just throwing PSVR.
I know. I've played
this shop somewhere.
I know. I've played PSVR, but I've never bought one because I was, like I said, I was an Xbox guy originally, and then I got into PCVR just so I could play VR, and then I never had a PlayStation, so I would have had to buy a PlayStation and a PSVR. I should have done it a long time ago because now I feel like it's too late to get the regular PSVR. I know people are gonna.
Mate, it's not, honestly. Like Wipeout is a standout.
Yeah,
VR.
I hear everybody talk about it. I would love to.
It's so good. It's really good, and it's very hard to beat. And that's the problem, And like anything, when you experience something better than something else, you kind of wish you hadn't, because you kind of like now everything is judged on this. And I've been a big fan of F-Zero and Wipeout all my life. And when that day, I remember getting the update news that it was in VR, and I was at the garage getting my car fixed, and I must have been like one of the first or second, third people to stream that game, and it was like a dream come true.
Yeah,
it was like a dream come true, man.
I mean, it was like one of them. From what I hear, you know, a lot of people that have that Beat Saber moment the first time they played Beat Saber, and they were so blown away. And I hear people say that about Wipeout too. Like you play that, and it was almost like an emotional experience because it's so good. But
that's the thing of VR, isn't it? Is playing games and the experience that being in the game.
Yeah,
and I've always wondered how developers feel about that. They make a game world, and then they can go and visit the game world they made.
Yeah.
Limber Zero says has come up with a great one. Yeah, Grip. Grip is a very good.
Grip is really good. I have that on Steam. That is a really good one. The thing with this one is it's different. It's definitely different in the fact that
this looks good.
The ship. So the ship is actually on your hand. So you are controlling your ship by having your hand out, and you can turn. You know, you go up, down. And originally, I didn't realize that was how it was played until I went into the game, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be weird. But it actually felt really good. And watching the trailers and stuff, it's hard because, you know, a lot of people were concerned about being in these tunnels. And this one's a little bit more open, this level, but about being in these tunnels. But once you're in the game, the tunnel is much bigger than what it looks like in the videos. So the videos don't really do it justice because the video makes it seem like it's really, really tight. And it's not that tight. So you can actually have a lot more movement to move around, and once you start to get the hang of it, you can avoid the walls a lot better. I still hit some, but I mean, I was doing pretty good. I think I got first place in the first 3 races, but it's actually a lot of fun, and it does give you the sense of speed. Like there's a nitro boost that you can upgrade your ship for acceleration, top speed. The music, I did want to mention the music because the music is really good in the game, and I don't know.
It's very important.
Yeah, I mean, it really is upbeat. I mean, it gets you pumped up, so even that makes you feel like you're going faster. There's coins and stuff that you can get. There's nitrous power-ups that you can get, then you hit the nitrous to kind of...
And all your favorite content creators are in there.
Very important thing there. Yeah, so almost everybody, all the content creators, I don't know about all of them, but a ton of them have ships in the game. So Gamertag has one in there, Rendered Reality has one in there, Paradise Decay, Steve Knows, BMF.
I've got the game, but I've got a ship in there.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of them. So when you start out, I think there's 3 ships, and there's the BMF ship, Steve Knows, and there's one other one I'm not sure.
VR365.
No, that one's not unlocked right at the beginning. He is in there.
Oh, sorry, at the beginning.
Yeah, so there's only 3.
I've never heard of. Yeah.
So there's only 3 in the beginning, and you have to unlock the ships by, as far as I know, you have to fully upgrade the ships to unlock other ships and maps and everything. You start out with 3 maps. You got to unlock the maps. So I haven't seen the Rendered Reality ship yet. I haven't seen the Gamertag ship yet.
Ship is the best ship.
I do really like it. They did a really good job.
Paradise said that as well. Paradise was like, this ship looks amazing. And it does. And he said it really well. He was like when I was a kid and Scalextrics and or Formula 1 cars were sponsored by cigarettes. Yeah. Those sponsorships were the best paint jobs of all time, pretty much, you know? And your ship looks so classy, man.
It does look really good. I can't wait to actually see it in the game. And I don't know. And we didn't design any of it. We had no say in any of it. He just took our logo and stuff and made one. So we were really impressed with the developers that made the ships. It looks really cool. And I am excited to see it, but I haven't seen it yet. And I don't know how hard it's going to be to unlock all these things. You know, I don't know how long it's going to take to, I mean, these ships could be way out in the game. It could be unlocked next, where you get to pick. I haven't unlocked anything yet, so I'm hoping that once you unlock them, then you get to pick which ship you want to use next or something like that. I'm not sure. But another cool thing about it, though, is that in game, you're going to have basically somebody in your ear, almost like a rally car race or something, where they're kind of giving you pointers. They're saying, you know, watch out for the wall, hit that nitrous boost. And a lot of the content creators actually recorded their voices. I know you did, Gamertag. I know me and Tyler did for ours. So you actually hear our voices in the game, which I think is really, really cool. South Memphis said, "Woot" with a dancing controller with a $20 super chat. Man, South Memphis is another one. He is always hooking it up. It's so awesome. I mean, such great supporters we have. We really, truly, truly appreciate it. So thank you so much. But I really wish you would have got to play this because I would love to know your thoughts on this. I
wanted to.
Yeah, you're going to have to tell me. You're going to have to message me once you play it because I do want to see. But I do think it's a lot of fun. It really, what I gauge games that I like and how I gauge them is that if I want to jump into a game real quick and I end up playing it for way longer than I expected, that I know I like it. Also, if I think about a game when I'm not playing it, you know, when I go to bed at night and I'm thinking like, oh, I want to jump back into that game, that's another way I tell if I really like it. And I did have a little bit of that with this game.
Oh, nice.
I really do think they did a pretty good job. I think it still needs a little bit of work. I think I would love to see a cockpit mode, and they did say that they are working on a cockpit mode for the Steam build. I don't know.
Would a cockpit mode work though? If you're steering with your hand.
That's the thing. I don't know if that's going to be the same
I can't
control.
see
Yeah, that would be a little bit weird. And Arthur Knox sent he sent his $5 super chat. He says, "Holy poop," with a poop emoji. GT, let's go. Let's go so we can get a knockout brawl between GT VR Link and RR. A knockout brawl? I don't know. GT's pretty beast. He'd probably take me out, especially after I lost like 30 pounds from being sick. So I don't think I want to have a knockout brawl with GT. Maybe we'll go into Thrill of the Fight 2 once they have multiplayer. Maybe we'll have to duke it out. That might be kind of fun. But
I take it Simonev is one of the developers.
Is he in here?
I think so. Is it Simonev 888? Yeah, he says, and we will make more content. One of the things. While you're here, man, is the social screen needs some work, because you need to really extend that FOV, because a lot of the videos you can't really take in what's going on, because all you see is the track. A lot of the videos I've watched, it's very hard. So yeah, if you ever get a chance, man, look up like camera smoothing and FOV controls for content creators, and that will definitely help sell your game.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely like some games will put that mode in where you can spectator mode or something like that, where it zooms out. So that way, because you need to be able to see the ship in your hand and moving all around, and that'll really, because I recorded that last night, that footage of me playing, and then when I went back and watched it to put it into the show, I was like, oh man, you can't even like see the ship and stuff. So it does take away for sure in video. So video is very important for helping to sell a game. So that is definitely something that I think you need to look into. So this is the cockpit mode. Arthur Knox again. It says pop 1. It just says pop 1.
You're going to be rich. You're going to have to wax your tash now, man. You're like, all this money coming in is crazy.
It's awesome. Thank you, Arthur Knox. 2 in a row. So this is the picture that they sent of the cockpit mode that they're kind of playing around with right now. I don't think anything's official yet, but this is what they sent. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of the cockpit mode. I am curious, like GT asked, about how the controls will be in cockpit mode. Will that still be attached to your hand? Are you going to use thumbsticks? Are you going to use 2 hands with some kind of wheel? How will that work exactly? And hopefully the cockpit mode will come to the Quest build as well, because I do think this is an excellent Quest game. I think this will be great on Quest. I mean, obviously graphically it'd be downgraded a little bit, because the graphics are really nice in the game. It looks really good. Yeah, it looks really good.
The screenshots the guy was sending out, I was like, wow. And not only that, the colors,
very colorful.
The tracks look good, the ships look excellent. Like when you're a kid and you're drawing futuristic spacecraft, I think these look absolutely fantastic. And the artwork of the paint jobs, man, is really good. So
they did a good job. I think it's really cool how they put so many people like channels and stuff in the game. I think that's really neat. I think one of the first games that I played that I heard somebody's voice as well was Tarzan, and it was Anthony from VR 365 on the radio. Like I was doing something in the game, I smashed something, and the radio started playing, and it was Anthony. I was like, what the? I was like, I know that. I was like, I know that guy. So, and Anthony's going to be in the game too. I think he recorded his voice for the game too. So, I mean, it's a really cool idea. I think the game is pretty fun. I'm definitely looking forward to playing it more. And I'm looking forward to the actual multiplayer. The asynchronous multiplayer stuff is cool, but actual multiplayer where you're battling it out with a friend and talking back and forth, I think that's really where games like this shine.
The developer's saying the control is going to be something like Squadrons.
Okay. Yeah, that could be interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. That'll definitely I'm definitely looking forward to checking that out.
No, there is no holy shit balls in this game. I got a script. I did go off script a couple of times for my wordings, but there is no holy shit balls horn in this particular game. That's only dash.
Oh yeah. The horn, that's awesome. So yeah, I definitely want to play everybody's ships, but it looks like I'm gonna have to spend some time in there to unlock them all for sure. So then again, that's something that keeps you coming back, because if you could just go into a game and everything's unlocked, there's nothing that keeps you coming back to keep working at unlocking it and grinding it out to unlock that ship you want and stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. So Newbie Gaines said, love these VR creators collaborations, shake things up a bit. So it is fun collaborating with other content creators.
Yeah, it's excellent. It's one of the best things.
Yeah, I totally
really
agree.
good.
So Paradise Decay said, and I haven't watched his whole video on it yet. I did watch a little bit of it. He said, your ship is tier 2 upgrade, 1 ship to unlock. My ship was tier 3, took me 1.5 hours to unlock. So that's some pretty good information to know. So that is really cool. Yeah. So definitely, let me see. I actually have the original trailer. So the trailer will show you some of the ships. And this is my favorite trailer because it shows you in depth a lot of the ships and stuff and how
VR 365 is like the second. It is the second
there's the
best
rendered
looking
reality
ship.
one. Oh, I love that thing. They did such a killer job on that thing. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really neat. So I wonder too if they have plans to add more ships, like other content creators or companies, because there are some companies too. I think Virtual Desktop has a ship in there, so it's not just content creators. It's a whole bunch of Tyria Wood right there, all kinds of really cool stuff. And I wonder how you flip like that. I didn't figure that out. Is there a way to actually flip the whole ship around? Because that would be cool.
Well, you'd have to flip your whole body around. Wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
your whole hand. You'd have to rotate. Yeah. So
do a barrel roll.
yeah, it'd be kind of crazy. So Paradise Decay said any weapons in PvP. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that. Almost like a Mario Kart kind of or a Dash kind of a weapons thing. I don't think so, but that would be pretty cool. Yeah, Tenko said the RR one looks so rad, and I really do like the RR. I don't want to brag or anything, but I really do like their design.
It is.
I really like their design. Yeah, they did a really good job. So yeah, this is coming out next week. I think it's I can't remember the exact date, maybe the 4th or something. Somebody in chat can probably let me know for sure. I don't remember if I wrote that down, but it is coming out next week. It'll be on Steam. The Quest build, not sure when that's going to come. Hopefully at some point this year. I don't know if there's anything definitive yet as far as release date for Quest, but I know they're working on that. And again, I think it's an excellent Quest game because you do move around quite a bit in this game. I mean, you don't really get too twisted up, but you're moving your body quite a bit to go through all these tunnels and stuff. And I really do I definitely get the feeling of speed. And that was the one thing I was worried about with this game is I hate racing games that don't make me feel like I'm going fast. Doesn't work for me. I hate that. So this did a good job, and I'm sure it has to do with the lighting and how the things are passing you by in the tunnel and stuff, but they did a good job on that, and I'm looking forward to playing this with everybody. I don't know how many players it's going to be with full multiplayer, but it should be fun, so I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
Definitely. Let's talk a little bit. We still got a lot of stuff. I don't even know what time it is. What time is it? We still got a lot of stuff to talk about. So this always happens.
You said to me, you went, have you got any topics? And I'm like, I don't think we should have any because there's going to be a bit of chat.
Yeah, I mean, once we get rolling, and so I mean, it just things keep rolling and the conversation just goes. Yeah. It's like a lot of times I get nervous before a show. I'm like, what if we run out of stuff to talk about, or what if you don't ever want those lull moments where there's nothing going on, but that it just never happens. So
my favorite podcasts are the ones that are like genuine conversations. You know, it's nice to have topics, obviously, but I love them to be free flow.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. So did you see the whole Boz thing? Boz from Facebook works, obviously with Oculus. He's been doing these Q&A things on Instagram. So if you I think his name is like BOZ Tank or something like that on Instagram. If you don't follow him,
Boz Tank. Yeah,
I think it's worth a follow because he does these Q&A things. I'm not sure how you submit questions. I need to figure that out because I do have a couple questions I would like to submit to him. But he'll do on his story where he just the question pops up and he answers the question. And originally the one that got everybody stirred up was the 120 hertz that happened a week or two ago. And he kind of hinted that, 120 hertz could be coming to the Quest, and that kind of got everybody like, what? And then the other day he did another one and got everybody a little stirred up again. And this time it was because he said about a Quest Pro. And I don't know if that's, me and GT were talking a little bit about it. I don't know if that's a Quest 2 Pro or if that's going to be a Quest 3 Pro. Don't know exactly the logistics of, and nothing's for sure. I've seen some people saying Quest Pro confirmed. I don't know if this confirms it, but it definitely is a hint that they're looking into a Quest Pro, and there's something in the works there. So I'm going to play this clip real quick. It should have audio. It's just a real quick clip.
Quest Pro, huh? Interesting. Quest Pro, huh? Interesting.
And the wink at the end is kind of, it definitely gives you the feeling that they're up to something, right? And we know Facebook, Oculus is working on so much stuff in the background, nonstop, all the time, always innovating and stuff. But what do you think about that? You think that this is definitely something that could happen?
It's bound to happen at some point. It's honestly clickbait. I do get a bit like, for me personally, when I see these things, I'm like, if I was Boz, a wink literally just means like, let's get you fuckers talking.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And that's all it is to me. And I see that, and I'm like, yeah, cool. And then obviously to other people that they want to ride that hype, and that's what that's for. That's
right.
Everyone's doing whoever's doing that is doing exactly what they're supposed to do.
Exactly.
You're living, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That is the idea. He does that, you do your bit.
Absolutely. It is clickbait. It's absolutely clickbait for sure. And like you said, it gets people talking. So.
Yeah, and Oculus will be the first people to tell you something's happening, but then I say that. But there was that Garfield guy. He's the one you should follow on Twitter. If you want to know something's possibly coming, he was the one who got us, basically let everyone know about the Quest 2. I can't remember his name.
I follow that Walking Cat because I know he leaks a lot of stuff. Is that who you're talking about? Okay, yeah.
His profile picture is Garfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's one that you click the bell on.
Yeah.
And
he's also the one that leaked the Samsung stuff that came out the other week. Yeah, the G2, I think. And there was something else that I can't remember, but yeah, he's definitely, I don't know where he gets his info from, but usually his stuff is accurate too, so definitely worth following.
If he doesn't say anything, I don't really say anything, like, unless I'm just overly hyped. But yeah, without a doubt, what I'd like to see personally is another like PCVR focused headset at some point, Yeah. I love the standalone stuff, but I would love, like the G2, but actually one I actually really, really like. I'd love Oculus to do another Rift, basically. So I watched the whole story with Boz, and I tried to record it because there was a couple ones that were pretty good. I recorded the whole thing, and it didn't record the audio, so then when I went back to do it, it's not up on his Instagram. I don't know if it's just because I watched it, it's not there anymore, but I couldn't find it anymore, so I was like, dang it. But one of the questions was about a Rift, and I don't know that that's going to happen because basically they want to keep with the Quest but have it do both things, and he mentioned that was what it was important to them. Well, they need to improve the link. They need to improve the link software.
I totally agree. So Arthur Knox coming through again. All right, we have enough VR games. We can have a VR triathlon, GTVR link versus RR versus F Reality. Oh man,
we can have, if you want, man. We can get like 3 communities and just like do 3 games and do a triathlon or something.
We could do that. It'd be fun. Me and Tyler actually talked about doing something like that before, just for the fun of it. It would be a lot of fun. So maybe someday we'll put that together. The problem is with all of us is just time. So many of us just do this either as a fun side hobby kind of thing or as like a side hustle, side business kind of thing, and so. That way. Yeah, there's so many of us that still work nonstop, so there's just time is so hard to come by sometimes. But yeah, in that Quest Pro thing, I think the question was, they asked about a $600 price range Quest Pro, and I don't know what the details would be on a Quest Pro, but I'm sure possibly maybe a little higher resolution, a higher processor, maybe a little bit FOV bump. The one thing I've always wanted out of a Quest Pro, and I think the next Quest, and I'm sure it's probably going to happen, is color, high fidelity pass-through cameras. Get rid of the black and white, low quality pass-through cameras, because I think they can do a lot of stuff with AR and in a VR headset. That is one thing that I definitely want to see.
That will happen.
I agree, and I want better lenses too. The lenses on the Quest 2, I still feel like the lenses on the first Quest had a bigger sweet spot than the Quest 2, even though they're supposed to be the same lenses, and I don't understand it. But going back and forth, to me, the Quest 2 lenses still seem to have a small sweet spot. So I would really like to see that sweet spot get.
So what would be your like? I've got a community post going at the moment of what colour you'd like the next Quest to be. Funny enough,
I did see that. And
grey is winning.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that. I was like,
I don't know. I actually, for the thumbnail today, I was actually gonna make the Quest image on there. I was gonna make it grey, so it looked more like a Quest Pro or something. But I just ran out of time. But I don't know, because I mean that was like the color of the Go. The Go was a light grey color. I don't.
PlayStation and stuff. Like it's great. Grey is a. Yeah. It's been around. There's so many different consoles in one way or another. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I had to pick. Originally, I was a little surprised with the Quest 2 that they went with white, because my original thought was this thing's going to get nasty. It's going to get dirty. Your hands are all over it and stuff. And that hasn't really happened, at least for mine. I haven't noticed that it's gotten
dirty.
Mine's
not been too bad. Yeah. The jock strap got filthy.
Yeah, see, I got the Elite strap, so I think the soft strap would definitely probably get a lot dirtier with your head sweating and all that stuff.
What would be your top priority to low priority upgrades for the next Quest, for example, or in general in VR? Like, where do you want to see things go? Because obviously some headsets do something you want, and then the other headset does something else you want.
Right. For me, I think one of the biggest things still is just that FOV bump. And I know everybody's different. Like a lot of people prefer higher resolution than FOV. I'm pretty happy with the resolution that we're at with the Quest 2 and the G2. You know, the G2 is obviously higher, but we're getting there. You know, the screen door effect really isn't a thing anymore for the most part. Like, I mean, obviously, if resolution increases, I'm fine with that. You know, absolutely, bring it on, keep it coming. But I'm pretty happy with where it is right now. But
it's all about realism of not only the cost of the headset, then the expense to the PC. The G2 is one of those headsets where you do need a high-end PC.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
see the best of it. And as I've said before, with the G2, when I saw Half-Life Alyx, and I think we said this on my show, my God, like,
gorgeous.
That is, people, the masses aren't ready for that yet, like, in general, because there's just a lot of money.
Yeah, I agree.
To get everyone to experience that. So, yeah, I think 2K is a good place to be. I think it looks great. For example, jumping into Crashland today, it looked so sharp. You know, that's what you want. You want to, as long as you look at an image and go, damn, that's sharp. I'm happy. So yeah, it is hurts, but it's field of view for me first. I'd stick with 90. I'd be happy with that. I'd love to see this hit 110, 120, you know, and start going that way, because that adds to realism.
I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, I want more all the way around. I'll take more vertical field of view and obviously horizontal field of view as well if we can get it. And I think things are going to start going that way because, you know, I think for a long time they stayed around this FOV to get the resolution up there, you know, because they work hand in hand. You know, if you up the resolution and then you up the FOV, you know, they affect each other. So it's a hard thing to do both sometimes, but hopefully that will be the push going forward. I mean, you know, for the long time before the Quest 2 came out, I was mostly all index. I played index all the time, and the index FOV is pretty good. You know what I mean?
So someone's just asked in the chat, they said, like, is the G2 revolutionary, obviously the resolution, is it that much different from the index? You know, is it like a world apart? Because the index is lower than the Quest, I believe, isn't it?
I think it's the same as the Quest, if I remember right. I can't remember now.
No, I can't remember.
It might be a little bit lower. Yeah, but they're pretty close. Yeah. I mean, there is a noticeable resolution gain going to the G2, I think, from the index. And part of it, too, is that the lenses are so much better in the G2 than the index, because the index had that glare kind of issue where the G2 doesn't have that. And I know that doesn't affect the resolution, but it does affect the quality of the visuals. And I do notice that, where I didn't notice it as much in my index until I went back to it from the G2, and I was like, whoa, like I want the G2 lenses on the index. So yeah, I mean, the G2 is the best visuals in a VR headset I've ever seen out of any headset. Now, there's obviously trade-offs with tracking, with the controllers, and there's a lot of other issues that I don't love about the G2, but visual-wise, yes, it is a gorgeous headset. It looks really, really good.
I wouldn't recommend a G2 over an index. If I was going to go and buy a PCVR headset out of those two, I'd still buy an index.
Yeah, the problem is the index is so expensive. You know, for a full index, it's $1,000. I mean, that's and it never went down. I mean, a lot of times people are still scalping those things on eBay for more than $1,000. It's crazy.
So sure they're going to be inside out track next.
Yeah. I would love an Index 2. If we get Index 2 news sometime, I would be ecstatic, because I would love to see what they do next. I think Valve as a company, you know, they do some really cool things, and I mean, I would love to see it. I would definitely buy one. Talking about the Quest Pro stuff, a couple things in here in chat. Doug Black said wider FOV is the standard. Paradise Decay said top priority for me is wide FOV. Mr. Trinidad said they're going to make it Facebook blue. That might actually be kind of interesting. I don't know.
Someone said something in on the comment section about a blue one with a white F on the front, and I'm like,
no, I don't want that.
That'd be the nail in the coffin, man.
No, I don't want that.
Be like, oh.
I mean, so in the chat he put like a big blue circle that's kind of like a Facebook blue color, and I don't know. I like, honestly, for me, the best thing they could do, especially if it's going to be a Pro and it's going to cost $600 or something like that, is give me like 5 color options. You know, it can't be that expensive to add color to things, right? I wouldn't think. I mean, I don't know, but you know, give me a white, give me a gray, give me a black, give me a blue. You know, orange is one of my favorite colors. Like this orange drink I got right here.
I was thinking about those kids jumping around with their pom poms when you was doing that.
Oh boy.
Index resolution, yeah. So 1440 by 1600 per eye, and the Quest is 1832 by 1920.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, Quest is. I thought it was a high resolution.
I couldn't remember. I was thinking it was around the same. I used to know all those specs when these headsets were coming out, because we talked about it all the time.
It's hard.
And then it's like now it's like I don't even remember. But yeah, so Yeah, so I mean, the Quest 2 is higher. So, and I know
That's part of the reason. That's part of the reason I want to quit my job, man. Is because like I have to remember so many numbers
Oh,
at
I
work
know.
as well, and then like, and then you're trying to remember all this other stuff. Like
Yeah.
the cup's full.
Oh, I totally agree. Well, bad thing for me is like half the time at work, I'm looking up news on my phone too. Like I'm working and then I'm like, oh, what's going on Upload VR or Road to VR or what's on Twitter? You know, what got announced today that I didn't see yet. So it's like
Upload do great work. Upload do really good work.
yeah, I mean, it's just so hard to keep up on everything. But I know, I don't know where, gaming science teacher mentioned my top priority is smaller, lighter form factor. I think that is important for an upcoming Quest. And I mean, that is, I mean, luckily for me with my Quest 2, I've gotten it to where it's pretty dang comfortable. And me and Tyler have literally played Population 1 for like 6 or 7 hours at a time where I've drained my headset battery, I've drained the external battery, I'm plugged into the link cable directly into the wall just to keep the thing on because we don't want to stop playing. So for me, I run the VR cover front interface, the VR cover rear pad on the Elite battery strap, and then the engineered AF over ear headphones. That's my combination, and I love it. It works really well for me. I know you really like that rear padding from a VR cover too, right?
I still haven't done a video on it, man. I just haven't had time, but I'd absolutely recommend it. The problem is stock. They are so
yeah.
popular.
I think it
sold
just came
out.
back in stock yesterday, though. I believe
Have
it
you
did come back in stock.
Seen the new jock strap they've done?
Yeah. I actually have one of those.
So they sent me something like that, which I just put in my drawer because I was like, why did they send me a replacement strap?
Yeah.
I think I've got one as well.
I think, yeah, you probably do.
Where do you put your ears?
I actually haven't used it. It's in my thing is there as well. I plan on using it because I didn't know if it was something they were actually going to come out with. It was just kind of a prototype.
Same.
Yeah, so I do need to. Luckily, I have two. I have
get stuff we can't talk about.
Yeah, we do. And one of the things was the HP Reverb G2 facial interface. They just came out with that. I did a video yesterday talking about that, and that is available right now. And I don't know how long it'll be before it sells out. But if it's anything like Quest stuff, the Quest stuff sells out really, really fast. So you might want to pick that up. And it's a big improvement on the G2. I really do like it on the G2. And honestly, there's a little bit of an FOV bump using that facial interface compared to the regular one of the G2. It's not a ton, and it might not be there for everybody. You know, I talked to VR cover about that, and they said, you know, we don't want to claim anything like that because everybody's so different that some people might notice a little bit of an FOV bump, other people won't. So they wanted to be very clear, you know, that they don't want to claim that. But as far as me and Tyler, both of us agreed that we noticed a little bit of an FOV bump, direct comparison back and forth. So I don't know if everybody will notice that, but yeah, that is available. I think there's a link in the description to that too.
I was just going to say about Rocket Marketing. He's put the FOV is terrible on the Quest, and the closer you get, you can see the flat ends of the screen.
You can.
It is so subjective, though. Like, I know that's how you see it and it's very obviously real. That is but everyone's faces are different. You know, like there's a guy I know at work, I can't remember his name, but he had a really big nose and his eyes were sunk into his head. And I remember like thinking to myself, how would he work in VR? Because he wouldn't, I mean, his nose was massive. Like, I don't know how it would
I know a guy like that too.
And I think to myself, like, you know, like, everyone's faces are different. Everyone's eyes are different. Like Anthony, for example, I think he couldn't use the Rift S at all.
Yeah, I think he has a really wide FOV.
Yeah, basically. And, you know, so it's very hard and it must be frustrating when you try something, everyone's saying it's really great, and then you put it on and you're like, dude, I can just see these black lines and it doesn't look right. So
I totally agree. I mean, I actually have a pretty narrow FOV. So for me, like on the Rift S, I mean, I have a Rift S. I've used it a lot, but when I would use the Rift S, I would get some eye strain after a little while because it was just a little bit on the lower end, you know, of the FOV. So it does make a big difference, and that's why I think all of these headsets, they need to have a very good adjustment, you know, for IPD to cover a wide range. And I don't know, like even with the Quest 2, with the 3 settings, at least it wasn't, you know, static, and at least you can still change it, but I would like to see more. And on your show, BMF made a good point that he likes that it's an actual setting though, because on the old Quest, you know, it would get worn out and it would actually move on you sometimes. And I had that happen too. But so that's another thing I would like to see in a Quest Pro is a full wider range IPD setting. And for me, I use the Real Optics, like the magnetic lens inserts, and those for some reason help me too, because I did have some eye strain in the Quest 2 when I first started using them.
Are you getting the Oculus ones? Are you going to invest in the Oculus ones?
Are they coming out with official ones?
Yeah, they just released them. They just announced them today. They're
really?
like $58, and they even say like I don't wear glasses, so whatever the lenses are, they do a certain range.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Huh. Well, they also, like, I don't know about Oculus, but that Real Optics company, they also offer ones that are non-prescription just to protect the lenses, and they offer ones with blue light filter built in. So you're not, I guess the blue light
That's
from
good idea.
screens, yeah, can actually be damaging to your eyes. Like my wife uses hers on like night mode or blue light filter mode or whatever on her Quest.
Yeah, that's right.
And I can't stand that. Like I go into it, I'm like, what? This like everything looks a little muted and stuff. You know, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how bad the blue light stuff is. But that's kind of cool. And I have to look up the Oculus ones. Are they magnetic? Are they snapping? Or do you know?
I'm not sure, man, because the ones I've tried, and I've never really covered them because I thought that was a pain in the arse.
Yeah.
And I think if you put them on maybe too hard or too wrong, you could actually scratch your lenses while putting these on. But Oculus ones just look like slip-on covers, like clip-on covers.
Okay,
Single
so I
piece.
used I can't remember the brand of the original ones that I had, and that's how those were. They just snapped on. The thing I like about the Real Optics ones is that it just has a little plastic, like the ring that came on the Quest 1, the little plastic ring. So it's like that. It just goes on there, and then the lens is actually completely separate. It's just little magnets that are built in, so it just sits on
they're
that.
the ones I've tried.
Yeah, that's what I like, because if somebody else uses your headset on the old ones, it was a pain in the butt
just
to get
take that
those
out.
out. Yeah, the magnetic ones, there's just a little leather tab on it. You just pop them right out. It's like takes seconds. So I do prefer that. So hopefully Oculus will go that route, because I like that a lot better. But yeah, I mean that's I'll have to check those out. I have not seen that, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, sorry, like you did say. Oh no, hold on. Was they unofficial? I don't think GT. It's like VR cover. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, they are virtual clear, but they're on the Oculus website.
Yeah. Well, I think it's pretty cool how Oculus is working with other companies now and putting their stuff on the site. Like they did the battery charging thing with Anchor. They've worked with VR cover for facial interfaces, and now, like Jeff Bob said, with Virtua Clear. I don't know them, but I mean that's cool that they're working with third-party companies. I think that's great. So that's.
I think more people will go towards that way, won't they? Because it's like an official product. I remember when people used to buy like a new adapter for their Super Nintendo, they wouldn't just go and buy any market one. They want to go and get a Nintendo adapter just in case, Yeah.
Plus, I mean, it kind of gives credit to the company when Oculus themselves is endorsing that company.
Oh, that's massive.
Yeah,
that is massive. Yeah,
for sure. So, let me see here.
Play with your mustache while you're doing that.
My wife will yell at me if she's
Thank
watching
you.
this. Did you see the Star Wars pinball game thing?
Hell yeah, man! That looks amazing.
Yeah.
And it's on all the platforms, which is great.
Oh man, I didn't get. Don't tell me I didn't get the trailer. Oh crap! I don't think I got it.
I would say we could try and reenact it between us, but I don't think we can really.
That's coming out. What did we know the date on that? I can't remember what the date is.
I wrote it
think
down
it's-
this morning in a tweet. I think. Oh yeah, it's the day before my birthday. It's April 29th.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw your tweet something about it. It was so April 29th. So it's the same company as Pinball FX, as far as I know, that's making this, but it's going to be Star Wars related pinball machines, which is, I've never played Pinball FX, and I was told on the Discord that I'm missing out, that I really need to download that game. So that might be another one I have to add to my list. And I think when I was watching the trailer, the one thing that popped in my head, and I don't know why it was, but that if I would love to be able to place those pinball machines around a room, what I mean? Like if you have a big enough room, I would love to be able to set up my whole room where I could physically walk up to those pinball machines, kind of like the couch thing that Oculus just did, where that you can have a tracked couch in your space. I would love to be able to just have an open room and place those pinball machines all over the room, and I can physically walk up to those pinball machines, play it. I want to go play another one. I walk over. That was what popped in my head watching that.
So have you not played Pinball FX? Is that what you're saying?
No, I haven't. I have not played that. And to me, like I just didn't know the draw for me. I didn't know if a pinball game in VR would really do much for me.
It does a lot, actually.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Really good. They're really good. Yeah, they're really good. And like when you're playing like Jaws, I think the best. I like on the Amiga there was games called Pinball Dreams and Pinball Fantasies, and they were some of my favorite games to play, just chill out with and stuff. And then I've never really cared about pinball, like Sonic's Pinball I played for a little bit, but I never really cared about it. And then these come out in VR, and it's just wicked. Like you're playing Jaws and there's a shark swimming around your feet and stuff, and like it's quite nerve-wracking, And Back to the Future, you've got the flying DeLorean, and like these Star Wars. As soon as I saw the trailer and I know what they've done before, I was like, It's a must. It's a must buy for me. It's a must buy for me.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick it up. I think I might pick up Pinball FX as well, just because when I said that in the Discord that I haven't played it, people are like, "What? Like you're missing out. Like you need to play this." So that was kind of like, okay, obviously it must.
I would say you're missing out, man.
It must be pretty good. So I'm not sure what the price of Pinball FX is, but I need to pick that up. So man,
Mate, with all the super chats today, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's fine.
What we like to do, honestly, like I know I mentioned this on your show, is that a lot of that money that comes in through this, we like to do giveaways. That's how we're able to give so many games and stuff away, because we mostly pay for all these games. Every once in a while, a developer will give us a game to give away and stuff, but most of these we all pay for, just like this one right here. Just like this Steam code for Pixel Rip 1989, which is an excellent game. Excellent game. And make sure you sign up for the Gleam giveaways they're in the description down below too. We got 2 of those going on. So yeah, but I think I'm gonna play that for sure. But I would love to see, hopefully someday, when these games like that will do like what I said, where it's a placed item in the room, you can walk around your physical room. That's the kind of stuff I really, really look forward to, and I can't wait till VR kind of gets there. And it's something they can do now. It's just hard because most people, have very limited play spaces, so they don't always have a play space that would be big enough to even do that with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not something that would be mass adoption, wide appeal, but for people that have a big enough play space, or they, in their living room or something like that, I just think that'd be a cool experience to walk to each machine, and really, that would really add to the immersion factor to me. But
who's VR wife life?
That is my wife.
Play your mustache. Let's both try.
Yeah, there we go. The problem what she hates is like when I'm sitting there and I'm like pulling on them, like I'm just like sitting here thinking or talking, and I'm like, oh, and then she's like, stop it, that's so disgusting. Like, why are you just pulling on your face? I'm like, I don't know. It's just, it's like a fidget spinner. It's like a fidget spinner. You know what I mean? Like you just, when you have a beard, you just play with it. I don't know why, but you say like eating cereal. Is that what you mean?
Mate, I eat a lot of cereal, and I have to like sort of lean forward all the time.
Oh, I know.
And like worry about hurting my neck, trying to not get milk all over me.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Like the other morning, she made like eggs, like over easy eggs or something, and like a little while later, I was playing with my beard, and I was like, oh man, there's some straight up egg in my beard. Like, it was terrible. The things that catch in this thing sometimes are just absolutely insane. You would never guess. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary.
Fucking running egg in your beard. Like,
there's some things there's probably
no.
some things I just shouldn't say, but oh well.
That's because he's so big. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, it's killer. So I can understand why the wives don't love him sometimes. It makes sense, but yeah, I don't know. So getting off track here. Let's oh man, there's other big stuff I keep forgetting. So I think one of the biggest news things that happened this week, at least the most surprising thing to me, is official wireless PCVR streaming through virtual desktop on the Oculus app. Like that got approved, and that is coming it's not coming to App Lab. I think originally they were trying to get approved for App Lab. It's coming actual to the Quest. Like, what do you think about that?
It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Guy Odin has done a fantastic job. That app was
such a good job.
When I got the Quest 2 and I first tried it, it was a jaw-dropping moment.
Mm-hmm.
I've only got a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi router, like a Netgear Nighthawk, and I actually had to check that it wasn't Link. Do you know what I'm saying?
I did the same thing. I did the exact same thing. I double checked. I wasn't plugged in.
Hold on a minute, man.
Yep.
Like this is fucking too good.
I did the exact same thing.
But actually, right, so I was doing some testing on Medal of Honor when it first came out, and there was like obviously a lot of issues for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it performed better with virtual desktop because of obviously I say obviously, I don't know if this is true, but I'm assuming the Oculus Link process of encoding and decoding uses some processing power and stuff, you know, of your PC. Mm-hmm. Take that away. I think with virtual desktop, I thought the blacks were better. I thought the resolution was better. There was less artifacts in the image, and all around it was a better experience playing Medal of Honor using that virtual desktop than it was the Link. And I was like, okay, no, that's quite big. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I totally agree. I mean, this is honestly, I didn't think they were going to get approved from Oculus because if you remember, and I'm sure you do, but I don't know about everybody, back in the day when the Quest 1 first came out, virtual desktop basically enabled this to happen on the Quest store. And so you could just download virtual desktop on your Quest and you could wirelessly stream from your PC.
You sideloaded, didn't you, or something?
No, it was on the app. It was actually on the app, but Oculus pulled it. Oculus made him pull it down because Oculus was like, no, we didn't approve this. You can't do this. And they made him take that option function away. And that was when it went to SideQuest to still be able to do it. So I was like, I don't think Oculus is going to approve this. I don't think they're going to, because my thought is that Oculus is working on something like this on their own is my thought. So they didn't want somebody else to do it. And so I don't know what made them change their mind, other than maybe the fact that how great of a job he's done. He's improved it. It's gotten better even from when he first started doing this. So I don't know if it was that. I don't know if it was the fact that so many people use it anyway. So they figured might as well go ahead and put it on here. And Boz actually answered that question on that chat thing. And he said that essentially what he said is that when the Quest first came out, they wanted to be very, very careful of what they allowed on there. They wanted to make sure everybody had a good experience. And from what it made it sound like is they're starting to maybe play it a little bit less safe now than what they were in the beginning. At least that's how I kind of took it. I don't know if that's true, but so I don't know what it was, but I think that this is probably some of the biggest news to come out. I think this is absolutely fantastic because like I always talk about, the barrier to entry. So even though it's easy to do on SideQuest and everything else, it's a little bit more work than what it's going to be if it's just natively on the virtual desktop on your Quest, just a little bit. So that's going to probably cause me to use it even more because, it's very, very good. And like you said, when the first time I did it, I had to double check that I wasn't plugged in because I thought there's no way. And I think it was Half-Life Alyx that I went into. And I was like, there's no way it's this good. And it was. And there was some games that I tried that weren't as good. Like it didn't seem to work perfectly with every game and every app, but most of the things it worked really good with. And it could be, just some tweaking and stuff that you could do to get it a little bit better. But man, he did a fantastic job with that.
Do you know the reason I thought Oculus didn't want to do it is because they and obviously they do make a percentage of money out of the sale of an app, but it's because I thought they wanted to make their own app for that money. A wireless. I don't know how much is the wireless solutions on HTC.
I think like $300-$400 for the wireless.
That's
adapters.
what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And then you just go, here's a $20 app or something.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and you don't need anything. There's no setup. Right. With those wireless adapters, you got a thing on your ceiling. You got, there's a lot that goes into those. And they're, range. There's interference stuff that can play along with those things. So, I was
just going to say that was the other thing I thought might hold them back is because they can't control the experience. It's all down to the users' network, so they can't sell their own peripheral to say you are guaranteed 90 hertz, this frame rate, blah 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 blah. Right. But then I guess if you're running a game on PC, you can't guarantee that stuff anyway. But
true.
like if someone out there goes, I've got a 2.4 gigahertz router, they might not even know and go, oh wow, this sounds great. They're going to chuck it on and go, this is terrible. This is terrible, so,
yeah. And I think that's originally what scared Oculus away is because, there's no way to tell who's going to have a good experience and who's not. A lot of people do have a good experience, but the people that don't, they don't want to, they were very worried about scaring people away from VR, which is understandable to a degree because if somebody goes into VR and they have a terrible experience, they get motion sick, they're throwing up, they're laying on the floor, those people probably aren't going to go back to VR. Those people aren't going to be out there like we are preaching about how awesome VR is. So, part of it is completely understandable because they were trying to build something from nothing pretty much, and if everybody gets scared away from it, then it's not going to catch on. So, part of what they've done makes sense. And I'm thankful for some of the things Oculus has done for sure, because they have kept VR afloat. We talked about that on your show, without Oculus, VR could have very well died because HTC couldn't do it. They couldn't.
I don't know what we'd be talking about. Admittedly, we've got PSVR 2 now, but
yeah. And I do talk about that.
You just don't know where things would be, And Tyler says he's back on the road.
Oh, he's back on the road. That's good. So they must have got that fixed. So good stuff. Tyler's still heading to Florida. He only packed one thing, I heard.
What was it? His Quest?
No, his mankini. That's the only thing he packed. He's going to be sitting on the beach, so hopefully he doesn't post any pictures to the Discord. That could be bad. But, so I'm glad he's back on the road, though, and hopefully Florida will be a good time. I'm a little bit jealous. It's been raining here all day, and he's going to be down in Florida soaking up the sunshine, so...
Nice.
Good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about PSVR too, though. Obviously, it's probably been talked to death over this week. I know everybody's been talking about that. It's huge. Another huge news thing that happened this week that basically PSVR 2 has been confirmed. It's going to be, as far as we know, coming next year, 2022. Won't happen this year. They gave very vague specs about increased field of view, increased resolution, better tracking, better controllers, all of the stuff that we knew PSVR 2 needed. And I'm very excited about it. I am going to be picking up a PS5. I'm probably going to wait till later in the year, hoping things, inventory catches up, maybe some sales. I don't know if it'll be too early to get anything on sale, but I'll probably be picking up a PS5 later this year just to be ready for PSVR 2 because I don't really have any interest in playing flat games. If I have the time, I'm playing VR. I'm not playing flat. But I think that this is going to be good. We talked about it, that the competition is always good. So now there's finally a competitor that can potentially compete with Oculus as far as good quality VR content. They got a lot of developers that work with Sony that can come out with some amazing titles, maybe some port titles, all kinds of stuff that they can do with that. Part of my thought in this is that I was watching Anthony from VR 365. He hasn't been doing a lot of episodes lately. Yeah, he hasn't been doing. Man. Yeah, so he did a live stream about PSVR 2, and there was definitely some ranting. Yeah, you should watch it. There was some ranting that came out in that for sure. It's a very entertaining watch. I really enjoyed it. And I didn't catch it live. I watched it afterwards. But he was basically saying that, PSVR 2 screwed up. Like, they're not going to be able to compete with Oculus because you got to buy a $500 console and then another $300 to $500 headset. I don't know how much it's going to cost. So there's really going to be no competition with Oculus. Oculus is still going to be top dog. And he was kind of mad about that they didn't come out with a PSVR 2 that was standalone. And that was my hope too, was that PSVR 2 was going to be standalone with the ability to plug into a PS5, just kind of like the Quest is. I had hoped for that. And I guess it could still potentially happen. I don't think it's very likely. But I would have loved to see that because there is a market for sure for a standalone unit that you don't have to have anything else. But at the same time, the reason PSVR 1 was so successful is because so many people already had a PS4, right?
Exactly.
And that was what caused them to be so successful because when I first got PCVR, when I first got my CV1, I would have friends come over and they were absolutely blown away. They loved every minute of VR. I could barely get them to come out of VR. But the first thing they would say is, I want one of these. And the first thing they would say is, I don't want to have to buy a gaming PC. That was the thing that just stopped it right there, is I don't want to have to buy a gaming PC. So back then it was even a more expensive endeavor to get into. The headsets were more expensive. The PCs have always been expensive, but I think he has some valid points, but I don't know. It's going to be tough to see because if Oculus can keep that $300 price tag, if they can come out with a Quest 3, maybe they do a $300 Quest 3 with a $600 Quest 3 Pro, that $300 price point is what is selling these headsets like crazy because it's $300 is a lot easier to spend than $1,000 on a PC and then another $500 on a headset or, even with a PS5, the price of that. So what do you think? How do you think this is going to play out as far as competition back and forth? I think
there's a different approach though. Like PlayStation want to get PlayStation owners into VR.
Yeah.
That's kind of just their thing, like you're saying, they're not. I would have a PlayStation anyway, and I wouldn't be doing any of this without PSVR. And it completely sold me on it.
And a lot of people it has. PSVR got a lot of people into VR for sure.
Yeah, like the day I went to try PSVR, Oculus and HTC were there demoing. But there was no way I was going to try that because I'd already sort of been in the PC thing before and I knew how expensive it was and how quickly it went out of date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the expense doesn't stop. So a console was like 4 to 7 years or something, roughly. So, PSVR was a no-brainer for me personally. I thought it was, I didn't think it was that expensive either, really, for the experiences they were offering, at the time, being Batman and stuff and, blood, Rush of Blood and, everything about it, and a lot of good stuff has happened on there.
For sure. They have a lot of good exclusives. I mean, talking Resident Evil, you know what I mean? That one
Resident
alone.
Evil, Farpoint.
Yeah.
Like the aim controller, for example. That's absolutely fantastic, and there's no gun peripheral in PCVR that is better than that, in my mind. I just don't really enjoy... I enjoy the accuracy the Pro Tube gives you and the feel it gives you, but I don't enjoy reloading, and I don't...
Yeah, that's something that takes some practice, and you just have to use it for a long time to really get efficient at it, but it does slow you down, and it's definitely...
It was a bit like what you said earlier about that, how easy you get into stuff.
Mm-hmm.
On Pro Tube, I don't feel that easy with it. You know,
Yeah.
I think they sent me some grips. Have you
Yeah.
tried the Pro Tube grips?
So-
Are they the ones where you've got to take the covers off?
Yeah,
and put
it's
them in
really
and then-
weird. So yeah, I have those, and I was talking to because Greg's VR, he actually just got a Quest 2 off that sale that we talked about on your show. He ordered that, and so he was playing with the Rift S for a long time. So he was asking me which grips he should get, and I was like, well, there's so many options. There's a lot of good options, and I said, you have a Pro Tube, right, that you use? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, they have grips for the Pro Tube that work, you know, with that gun stock as well. I said, I have some, but I need to play with them some more because that strap is really weird, and I don't like that design where you actually have to take the battery cover off and there's like a little hook thing. So I haven't even used them yet because I looked at them and I was trying to, and I was like, I don't have time for this, you know, and I set them down and I haven't went back.
They messaged me. They've actually sent me 2 sets.
Okay.
Right. And I think I got the first one, so I did the same thing as you. I got them out, I looked at them, I fitted them all on. I was like, God, no one's going to want this.
Yeah, it made no
You know,
sense.
it's too much arseache, you know. And then I got I would recommend the Mamuts, the AMVRs, and the VR covers. Like, and just buy whatever one is the cheaper. Personally, I love the VR cover ones. They are the final ones I've got out of the 2, and they're the only ones that actually made me take my Mamut or Mamut, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
You call them Mamut, I think.
Either way, yeah.
So, either way, they're all great, you know. And the VR covers, unfortunately, and I told them in an email, I said, I don't want to really talk about them because if I do, I'm not going to say anything nice about them. Right. You know, they're not for me, and they're just not for me.
So do they send you new ones that don't have the design anymore with the strap?
No, but they sent me. I've got some that actually sort of go with the bottom cups.
Okay.
And I've got some that are like standalone ones that go into the actual Quest controller with and there's like a sticker thing you put on the inside, and then you hook it round and all this stuff, you know. And don't get me wrong, when it's all set up, it feels premium. Yeah. But you're stuck with it. Like, that's it, you know. And I feel like with the VR cover things, you can just slide it back off again.
Right.
And you're done.
Yeah, I take them on and off all the time. Just depending on what I'm doing. For me, I use the Mamuts the most, and they actually just came out with the version 3, the Grips 3, and those ones are my whatever. And those ones are my favorite because the regular ones that I had before that work with the gun stock and the DX grips, the placement that it made your thumb, I sometimes had trouble on the top button. Like when I was reloading a gun with the gun stock, sometimes I would hit the select fire instead of the reload. I mean, I kind of worked around it. I got used to it. But these ones, and I just put a video out on it the other day, but these ones actually for me are much more comfortable because my hands fit better. And they also work with the G2 as well. They work with the G2 and the Quest 2. But I use those because I use the gun stock. So then that way, anytime I want to go back and forth between a gun stock or not, then I always have that set up with the magnet on the bottom. So those ones are my favorite, but there really are a ton of good ones. I like the VR cover ones as well. I have those. My wife uses the original Mamut grips or Mamut, whatever, on her Quest because she likes those ones the best. That's what she uses.
Yeah, so, and you can use them from the OG to the Quest to the second Quest as well. I like. I put that on Reddit, and someone went, "No, you can't." And I'm like, "Well, I'm doing it. I'm doing it now.
Right.
It's been fine for like a month."
Yeah, you definitely can. So they work good. Yeah, but yeah, I don't even know how we got onto grips. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Does it really matter?
Yeah.
We were talking about PlayStation, and it just went into grips.
PlayStation, yeah. So, like I said, I'm excited for PlayStation VR 2. I think that it's going to do some big things, and one of the things I'm most excited about is to see some of those exclusive titles that come to that platform. I think they're going to do some. I'm sure they already have some absolutely amazing games in the works, and Oculus is going to have to step up their game because they were funding some big titles there for a while, and they're not really doing that as much anymore. Although there is still some stuff that's supposed to be coming with like Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed and some stuff like that. So there could still be some competition, but PlayStation has a big library, you know.
It's only good. It's only good what's going to happen. You know, you need that in that space, and you need that quality.
Totally agree.
And yeah, like you said, man, people have got PlayStation. There's going to be millions of people eventually that are going to get PlayStations. Obviously, not everyone's at the moment. PS5s are hard to come by.
Yeah.
Give it a year or so, which why it makes complete sense to wait a year. People are going to eventually be able to go in other people's houses, and they're going to try a PSVR and go, how much is this? Yeah. And they don't say PS5 plus headset price. They will definitely just say, yeah, that headset was £400 or $400. Right. They're not going to go, because it's sort of a no-brainer thought about the PlayStation. It's already paid for, it's already accepted.
Yeah.
That's part of it. You're only asking about the add-on. Like the iToy, for example. People didn't go, oh, how much was the iToy and the PlayStation?
Right.
How much was, because most people have got a PlayStation.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, PlayStation
Yes.
is a very popular console. Obviously, I think more popular than the Xbox now at this
I
point.
think it's
So
the most popular console.
yeah, for sure. So I think that, like you said, a lot of people are going to have it. I think it is harder for like, and even that was Anthony's point, is that he has no interest in a PlayStation 5. He would want it for the PSVR.
That was the problem.
And
That was the
me
whole
too.
problem
Yeah.
with what he said. That was the,
Yeah.
you know, like you're saying, you don't play flat games. I still love all games.
Yeah.
I don't get to play them half as much as I like to, but some days I just want to play the games that got me into gaming to make me like VR gaming. I love games, so
Yeah, so that I think that, I mean, I think he does have a point there for the people that don't already have a PlayStation. It is going to be an expensive purchase to get into PSVR
Yeah.
if you're buying just the console and the headset just to play VR games, like I would. But I think it's going to be such a good experience that I think it's going to be worth it. And that, I mean, I paid $1,000 for the Index, and I love that thing. So to spend, you know, that kind of money on a PSVR 2, that you're going to get all kinds of great content. It's going to be next level. Man, why didn't I see the people's name anymore? That's so weird. So somebody just bought 2 coffees. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to go in there and figure out why it doesn't say the name anymore. But Arthur Knox said, he sent another $5 super chat. He said, Modbox the next GTA for VR. Thoughts? So, I mean, I guess he's talking about the Modbox stuff that came out the other week. That video where somebody programmed the characters to actually talk back to you, and it was all different responses. Like, you could literally have a conversation with the characters, and if that's what he's talking about, that would be awesome. Can you imagine playing GTA in VR, a built for VR GTA, full motion controllers, with everybody on the streets that you could actually walk up and have a conversation with, and none of them were the same as the other? Like, that would be... Man, that would be like entering the Matrix, I feel like. Like, that would be next
it'd be
level.
too much for some people. They wouldn't want to leave. You know, the first place they go is the strip club and just stay in there all the time.
Right. Just for the conversation, right?
Trying to fleece the guys, you know what I mean? You'd have the ones actually trying to, I want to earn enough money to get out the game.
Yeah.
You know, they got AI, you know? They want to be a real person.
Yeah, it's gonna. I mean, I seriously think the future is gonna be insane when it comes to VR. I mean, with these realistic avatars we're seeing, with the AI integration of, you know, conversation, and it's gonna get crazy as field of view increases, resolution increases, haptics increases. I mean, it's gonna get weird, and I keep saying that, and it'll probably be some good weird, and it's probably gonna be some bad weird as well. But it's gonna get weird, I definitely think. But I mean, I love that the technology is advancing, and it's getting next level, and it's in the next couple years. I think it's gonna be next level for sure. But
agreed.
So you're thinking probably $400 or $500 for the PSVR 2 headset itself?
Yeah, I was wondering if he was going to pick up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
I do.
It's probably, I think, around where they'll be. It's just, I think it's going to be tough, because if Oculus can maintain that $300 price point, that's going to sell still a lot of headsets. But
do you know what? The power of exclusive games is not to be underestimated.
Yeah, you're right.
In anything, you know.
Right.
And like, for example, you go on the PlayStation Store now, right? There's certain developers I wouldn't class as indie developers. Yeah, so Skydance. Yeah, the developers behind The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Do you class them as indie developers now?
No.
Right. Okay. No. Yeah, because you're in the VR bubble.
Right.
You know, you know how much money they make and stuff.
That's true.
So, but in PlayStation terms, they're classed as an indie developer. Pistol Whip developers.
Yeah.
Do you think of them as an indie developer?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, me personally, no, because that's a huge name now. But if you go in the flat world, they're not going to know who that is. That means nothing to them. So that's a good, very solid point.
Yeah. But people don't see that, and you know, like, you think to yourself, all you got to do is chuck out Resident Evil 8 in VR, and go, how can I play this in VR, man? They go exclusively on PSVR 2, and they go, oh, how much is this? So let's say it's £499. I'm going to go out there and say that. But it comes with the controllers, and it comes with a demo disc of future things. And then they do like that classic thing they do, like Astrobot they did with PS5, where it can show you all the different things you can do, the haptic triggers and stuff, and the controllers in VR.
Yeah.
It's a demonstration of the technology. It's just different. You know? Yeah. And that's the thing. We have VR exclusive. Like, Lone Echo doesn't mean shit to anyone outside of VR.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Whatever happened to Lone Echo 2 anyways? Is that ever coming? Talking about Lone Echo. That would be
a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, that's awesome. Arthur Knox, again, with another super chat that came through. He said, don't stare too hard at the woman in the red dress. I think he's talking about GTA. So,
gaming science teachers pointed out, and I'm not saying I don't know that. she's right. She's saying India's definition, it means self-published and has nothing to do with how big or accomplished a studio is. But if you go to any gaming arena in real life, there will be indie developers, and they are classed as people trying to make it. They are classed as people bringing something hopefully new and inventive, very peculiar a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be cheap, and it's their way of trying to get out there and hopefully be seen by a bigger publisher. So I know what you're saying, but to most people, indie devs are seen as before they become developers, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's.
And honestly, the indie developers are who we need to thank as well for keeping VR alive too, because without them through all these years, I mean, the indie developers is what kept a lot of the VR alive, you know, and a lot of it was the companies like Beat Saber and Pistol Whip that came, you know, essentially from not a whole lot and made it blow up. You know, I mean, even without Beat Saber, it would be interesting to see what VR would be like right now because of how much Beat Saber got people into VR as well. You know, all them mixed reality videos that people just ate up like crazy and went out and bought VR because they had to play Beat Saber. You know, it's crazy, like some of these things that have come along that has really helped push the medium so much farther. So really, hats off to all the indie developers that's helped us out through all these years.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Well, if Skydance are an indie developer, they're pretty much all indie developers.
Yeah.
Like every single one is.
Man, they did such a good job with that game too. I love Saints and Sinners. That's such a good game. So with
and it's on sale everywhere at the moment, pretty much.
It's on sale? Oh man.
Yeah, it was on PlayStation. It was in the indie section.
Oh, nice. Oh, interesting. So from the buymeacoffee.com, I looked it up online. So the first one that came through, I think, was Aspen Darkfire. I don't know why the name didn't pop up, but thank you for that. And then the person that bought 2 coffees, it just said someone. So they must have done that anonymously. So I don't know who that was, but thank you very much for that. So I just wanted to mention that. I also wanted to mention last show we got a new Patreon supporter, and that was Rush Reality. So thank you to him. He actually joined while we were on the show, and I didn't catch it. So thank you to him for joining. Shout out to him. That's really awesome. We've been trying to do a little bit more with the Patreon, put some more stuff up there because we've had it for a little while, but we never really did much with it.
It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's tough
I've never
used. The more things you do, the more things you think, oh, that'd be a great idea, or people ask for it, and then you do it, and you think, right, I've got to manage this now.
Yeah,
and I've got to do something. Yeah, it's
right.
hard. It's hard.
Yeah,
Some people don't. Some people are happy though, just supporting you.
Yeah,
so.
And that's the big part of it. We really, really do appreciate it. But I've been trying to throw, we throw some codes up on there sometimes, as well as a lot of times I'll just do like a real short video. Before I went on your show, I threw a real short video up on there because I wasn't sitting in this spot on the PC. I actually moved so I could have the background of the VR shelf because you guys don't use the same kind of scene as this. So I wanted to have something that looked okay in the background. So I actually had a desk set up over there with my laptop and like all this stuff. So I put up a little video of that that one's actually public, so anybody can watch it. So, but we definitely appreciate all of that. We really appreciate all the super chats and the buy me a coffees today on the show. It's
amazing, dude.
Yeah,
You got such great supporters.
Yeah, we really
deserve it. You do fantastic work.
Well,
so.
appreciate that.
We
really just have fun. I mean, I know we say this all the time, but like this Saturday morning show, like this is something that me and Tyler look forward to like every week. Like we don't do this for any other reason than it's just fun and we just enjoy talking about VR. You know, we love to have guests on, other people like GT that are super passionate about VR, that share the exact same passion that we have, you know, and it's so much fun to be able to just talk to people about VR and the live chat. You know, obviously it's hard to keep up with the live chat sometimes on the show, and I hate it. I wish like I could read all of the live chat stuff, but it's just so hard to keep up with when you get in conversation. A lot of times after the show, I'll go back and read the chat and be like, I'll see things. I'm like, man, that was an awesome statement or comment. I wish I would have saw that on the show and read that. So if I don't catch some of the things you guys say, it's not on purpose. It's just because it's hard to keep up with everything, but we really definitely appreciate everybody being here for the show and hanging out there.
I just want to say, man, I was on the Tyler was doing like a test stream one day, and I was there when you hit 1,000 subs.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was cool, man.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's like the first big milestone that you hit on YouTube. You know, there's that 1,000 subs. That that's huge. You know what I mean? It's so big. So our next one, we're actually getting really close to 6,000.
You are.
Yeah. 5,946 currently. So hopefully we'll hit that 6,000 pretty soon, and then the next big milestone for us would be that 10,000. I remember when you hit 10,000, and I remember that's pretty cool. That's another big milestone that makes you feel like maybe you know, people are actually watching your stuff and paying attention and subscribing, you know what I mean? Because that, I mean, as doing YouTube, it's not really that big of a deal to us, you know, because we do it because we like it, but there is something rewarding about seeing those numbers go up. You know, I think anybody that does YouTube, it's exciting to see. So, but yeah.
What you don't ever want is a big video. Trust me, Matt. Like a few people have told me about what happens, and it happened to me. And YouTube does not sit well. It does not treat you nice after you get one big video.
Oh yeah.
After that, everything looks
terrible. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, because like I think you posted it one time that I saw that you said that YouTube, because when you log into your YouTube, it says like, well, this video that you just posted isn't doing anywhere as good as your last video. You know what I mean? It's like, well, why you gotta be like that? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, can't you say something nice? Like, yeah, like, I'm sorry this video is terrible and it sucked and it wasn't as good as the last one, but I tried. You know what I mean? So it's funny how YouTube works. It's kind of a crazy thing, but. Yeah, so I don't know. It's fun, and that's why we do it. I love this show. I really, truly appreciate you coming on. I'm sure we're going to have you on again. I mean, some of the fun ones we've done is like when Tyler's here, we got you and Anthony and whoever. And, you know, some of those shows are just a lot of fun to bounce back and forth on each other. And like I said, if you didn't watch the VR link from last week, make sure you watch that. I had a ton of fun being on there. I've talked to you quite a bit, but I've never personally talked to BMF or Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis, and that was a lot of fun. They're two really great down to earth guys. I didn't tell you about Mike being there because I know when I've said I've done something with him before, people sort of freak out a bit. Like, yeah. They're like, what, Mike? What, VR, you know him? And I'm like, that's why I didn't tell you till like the last hour or something. I was a little nervous because, you know, I mean, he's like one of the bigger VR YouTubers, you know. I think probably probably the biggest one. Yeah. I mean, he's been around a long time. Him and Nathy, you know, they've been around a long time. I remember watching them way back in the day when I was first getting into VR, you know, in like 2016 and watching their videos and stuff like that. So it's almost like surreal when you get to sit down and talk with some of those people. It was really cool. So, but I mean, they're both awesome guys. All three of you, I mean, we're awesome guys to talk to. Everybody's just so down to earth, you know, and just easy to talk to. And we all share That's the thing about Mike, dude, and that's why your podcast does so well as well. There's no, I mean, obviously you try and be the best you can on cameras, and you don't swear or you don't say certain words and certain phrases and stuff. Yeah, my nephews watched the show, and it was funny because when we had Matt Serra on, the UFC fighter, he dropped the F-bomb like 20 million times. That's just the way he is. It's just the way he talks. But my little nephew, my sister made him leave the room, and he was crying because he couldn't watch the show anymore. So we felt horrible for him. That's good because it's so real, you know. That's what's important. I think a podcast has to be real, you know, and that's why yours is doing so well, because it is that, you know, you two guys are just community guys who want to support VR in a different way. You know, I see so many things of hate for creators and stuff, and like, you know, if you make a YouTube video, you're just you are a YouTuber. Yeah. But really all you are is just someone who, I don't live round anywhere. I haven't got a place I can go and shout about it. So what do? You do the next best thing you can to share your passion. And that's all it is. That is all it ever will be, you know. And yeah, it's weird when you get these titles about it is. I totally agree. Yeah. Alex VR called me out. I feel bad because they have their they do a YouTube podcast as well, and they do it live on Fridays. Yeah, and yesterday another one that's hard for me to catch because they're live every time I'm at work on a Friday, so it's always hard for me to be there live. I always want to be, and yesterday I commented on one of their Twitter things, and I was like, man, I'm off today. I'm going to be there. Like, I can't wait. You know, I'm going to be there. And then I started getting busy, and I was doing stuff. And for some reason, the time difference, I thought it was an hour after it was. So I went to look on my phone, and I looked, and it was over. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So I sent on their Discord, like, I was like, man, I'm so sorry. Like, and I was watching it afterwards last night. I was watching it in the evening when I was eating some dinner and stuff. But I just felt bad because I wanted to be there. So he totally called me out. He said he said, oh, sorry, I'm late. And he said, I guess that makes up for yesterday or something like that somewhere. So my bad. So yeah, I felt terrible about that, but because I wanted to be there so bad, but it's just I messed up. So mate, there's a guy, right? There's a guy. I don't just watch people who are massive streamers or anything like that. There's a guy called Wolfie Smith. He's got about 150 subs. He's been a friend of mine ever since I started. Just someone I play games with. And dude, I really enjoyed just watching his streams. He just wanders around, like I trick him. He was playing The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, right? And I said to him, he goes, all right, GT.
I go, hello, Wolfie, how you doing, man? And we're chatting away. Because in the PlayStation, the comments still come up inside the headset, which is really
nice.
cool.
That's a nice feature.
It is a very nice feature. And
Oculus, pay attention.
And anyway, one day he was walking along in Walking Dead, and I said to him, I said, dude, I said, you can kill zombies with a shoe. He's like, what? You just walk up to him with a shoe? And I was like, yeah. And he fucking walked up to this zombie, dude, and it just fucking sneaker just bounced off his head. He's going, you can't kill him with a shoe. And they start fighting him. Oh man, I was crying with laughter.
Man, that's awesome.
That to me is what makes live streams so much good. That interactivity.
Yeah,
so
that
that's
is
what
true.
you said earlier.
Yeah.
That's why I just enjoy doing live streams. They're good fun. So.
Yeah, for sure. That is awesome. Well, make sure you check out GT's channel. I'm sure probably mostly everybody here is, but if you're not, make sure you check him out. Gamertag VR does live streams all the time, videos all the time. So he's constantly putting out quality content. Definitely enjoy watching him, and his live streams are definitely entertaining. He's a good guy, so definitely check him out. And I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up. Oh, man, we went way long. I usually try to go like an hour and a half. We're almost 2 hours. I think.
Dude, I could do this for another hour.
I know, me too. I'm the same way. It's so hard to stop sometimes. So I think F Reality is starting soon, so we try not to go too long. But yeah, so again, thank you so much for all the support, all the super chats, everybody being in chat. Love you all. Make sure you check out the Gleam giveaways in the description. Definitely can't wait to see. Yeah, I can't wait to see who wins that Gamertag mug and the rendered reality mug. That'll be really cool. If you do win, put a mug shot in the in our Discord. We love seeing those mug shots. So I'd love to see the winner with those two mugs together. That'd be great. And also a Hyperdash code giveaway. And we have some other giveaways coming up. I ordered some rendered reality stickers. So they're like from stickermule.com. And they're like die-cut stickers, which they haven't showed up yet. But for some reason, I'm really excited about them.
So where are they from? Because someone was saying to me I needed to get some for my Quest, and I don't know where are they from. So
it's from stickermule.com. I'll send you a link because when you order from them, if you send your link and somebody else orders from your link, then you each get $10 free. So if you do that, we'll each get $10. So that'd be cool. So I'll send you the link. But yeah, stickermule.com. But I don't know why I'm so excited about these stickers, but I am. But the reason I ordered them is because for some of this giveaway stuff, if it's stuff that we ship, like stuff that I actually ship out from here, I'm going to throw some stickers and stuff like that in the box. So I don't know why I'm so excited about that, but I am. So I think that'd be really cool. So yeah, but I'll send you that link. But
thank you for having me on the show.
Anytime, man.
Thank you ever so much, and thank you to everyone in the chat for being so supportive and everything. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. You're welcome. Anytime. I appreciate you so much. You know, anytime.
It's been like a year. I think it's been maybe a year.
It's been a while because you've probably been on the show probably 3, maybe 4 times now or so. Because I know you've been on with Anthony. You've been on with Gaming Science Teacher when all the COVID stuff happened. We had a big conversation about how that affected VR and all of that. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a while, but we've definitely appreciated it. I mean, you're just one of those guys that, like, the conversation is just so natural. You know, you come on, and it's like we've been friends forever, you know, even though we've never even met each other in person. But I love that. I love the interaction. I love the conversation. It always flows. It's awesome. So you're welcome back anytime. I'm sure we'll have you on again. Maybe I'll convince you to come back on again next weekend because Tyler will be gone 2 weekends. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But Rizzle Rock is probably one of the biggest supporters of the channel. He's a Patreon member, always giving super chats. Love that guy. We're working on a package to send him. We have something special to send him. We're working on that right now. The logistics of that. So beard hair.
Yeah, send him some beard hair.
Oh, I'll put it in a little glass vial, like you know how like Elvis's hair is like worth some money or something. And I mean, mine never will be, but I'll send him a little glass. Just creepy.
That's some Sean body hair.
Yeah. That's terrible. That's terrible. So Paradise Decay said, great guest today. Sack Tyler. Haha. So Simon said, great episode. Rizzle Rock, Fire Rocket. I don't know what that means. But yeah, so, and we'll check on Tyler. I know he's traveling. Hopefully Tyler will put some pictures up from Florida or his travels on the Discord. Make sure you join the Discord. Great community. GT as well has a Discord with a great community. So again, thank you so much for being here, GT. Thanks to everybody. And hopefully see you guys in some VR this weekend because my wife's out of town until Monday. And when that happens, I play way too much VR and I love it. So that's probably what's going to happen. So
I'm glad you're all better, man. And yeah, stay safe.
Me too. Thank you. Yep. All right, everybody. We will catch you in the next one. Later.
Bye.